give them permits. But we think say young koso and stop us mana be hard dream be because they say we share Greater Accra. The places are Ubenya quarries no Shy Hills.
Shy Hills.
I'm say Bakubi was so too because I don't know how long time. I don't know how and sana or more provided quarry products for building in Accra. Shy Hills, then you go to Central Region. Oko Opakaswa home, Oko Fete area honwa, Hona Ubenya bi, and sana wako in Sawama Dredri. Enti or more Accra, no timu say quarry product ne boarding, transportation kuano, tobe 20 cubic meters, and you pay transportation about 2,000. And sana quarry product nankasa baby abe 1,000. It's just because of the distance. So if people continue to build closer and close the quarries, eventually somebody is making the estimate within some 10 to 15 years, we may have to be importing quarry products, which we think is not the best. A man for feels so sit down or more way, but they say we are getting to a stage where EACC is high-rise buildings, which tells you say 90 and near high-rise buildings. All statistics so you will need those products. And we want to appeal to the district assemblies across Ghana. Say, more such resources no, we keep away from there. The quarry operators are ready to compensate the landowners in that direction. So we don't expect the landowners to encroach on their land. They have been doing it. Some have even bought the surface rights. But still, the landowners will just be selling the lands for people to build. Also, corner say, Adiene Ben, a bit is a Blikuma, Reggie Manuel, show mo quarry no. Last time you go be a kwakusi abeyomo, and they build it in the night.
Wow.
And as at now, they are still in court on that issue. And this is very disturbing because omo blastia, uko si ben yomo ewie no, and then omo blastia, then you complain and expect that the quarry should be closed. Which is not the best. Until we all have to, whilst regulators are trying their best, the whole citizens should also help for us to be able to keep these resources running.
It's true. Anyway, no, we'll dovetail into and come around a month for encroaching concessions.
Sure.
We are industrial mining companies, no, everyone. Inti effects maybe no wabu brosui. There's a who could see close to them. But again, I mean, because here problem no. One may who say about land use in special planning assemblies never see 2 1 among. More Minerals Commission no, cannot go in there. In the SR mining companies now about budget permits no. Meaning that they are left on their own.
That is an issue. For now, no meaning say those quarries, most of them, especially starting from Ashanti region, they are having good collaboration with some of their district assemblies, and then they are trying to stop people, even to the extent say, well, we see dying closer illegally, piano, they will want to pull it down. But well, we think say Omubeye true legal means. So we are also trying to see how we can collaborate with the district assemblies and then geological survey authority. Then where some of these resources are, we'll try to zone it out and then inform the district assemblies to make sure that these things are not encroached upon, because it's a mineral resource. Any mineral resource be ain't me add value be is of no use to the nation. It's a gold share as I say yen fewer faso be any so no one say ye so, but ye if you are a person if you on a coin so then a bear it will not also hurt other resources. And that is discussions now here go through for now, so that we'll be able. But aside even here cry but every district assembly knows where they are having those resources. We'll just appeal and urge them that Ormond try said they will stop people from encroaching upon those areas, especially an operating quarry. You don't get closer to an operating quarry and later go to court. Say friend is saying Nejuma or how it's
true. Yeah, it's true. We know me who say the mining of industrial minerals, no, about with the no challenges. You name gold, you name oil, in recent times. In industrial minerals and so challenges near them.
Yeah, challenges for the quarries no most often illegality no ever form because the activity no is so time that's all my life na ya na emuwa ebi about 10 years ebi kura 20 years they are still working there but offer bibi to say sun winning. I know you're one of the biggest challenge because you just obeko area no unyane kese ebia within 1 acre 2 acres inti amount for are really involved in illegality, and that is a big challenge to us. We want it to be stopped, and we are using this medium catch asasira form. In fact, some in there do na sono asasira form. They see them before they go in Greater Accra, especially. Ebi on kura wan ko hu wanya license kura no wan ko hu omo a ontimi nya adwuma. Nti ye besre asase ruafo no. Ye na obi ye license a omunya patience ema onipa no. Na ye nko through the process no onipa no ntimi nya license. They shouldn't go behind that person and give it to another person who will just give them an extra money. And then they might illegal person here juma na on reclaim assassin because or pentema ko baby fufro, and you may also not be able to stop him because only nyina ye illegality, but the Ukraine krata there is easier to look for him and get him as well. And because on Ukraine krata and already waboka kakra de ayen krata, and he wouldn't want to do things that we will blacklist him. Because ye be ye inspection later near who say ye juma no one reclaim next one na obeba no will refer you to that and we'll have to get you to go and do that. And one of the major problems illegality na na eba industrial minerals mining and then also say kind of be also feel say we they say wo me fetchire aden na meso mintimi nya bi obetimi ayebi. But so you know emra kwan so say ye de wa utu kitua bi de si wodan kitua bi dia and there no problem, but once our person all the business ne de then say offer ne kwan so enti o asase bi na industrial minerals bi wo so a men ye ho say obehye kokoam especially obetimi atu no easy no so obehye kokoam na wan kasa waye brane ye mfa enkrata no na wonye na also yentimi monitor wadwuma no. Now by the time I will be na a hot so about back to a useful purpose.
Okay. It is a decommission mine site now. And then there was a happen to sites for industrial mining companies.
Yeah, decommissioning now a whole process all together.
Okay.
Yeah, expect it's a time of Nipano Beijing operating permit, he would have added his decommissioning plan to it. Furthermore, or call EPA so a or the decommissioning plan, a can environmental management plan no, and in totality, the person can say obi a ye jumana or baby wia anase wia say otimi a reclaim assassin and yes assassin a useless assassin and faso etimi ebaso. So to me putting in a such a way say emphasis bebaso say ye project bit say quarry no money honiema usual bones or more see are dying be no money honiema. Those buildings can also be put to good use. Actually say it goes back to government through the district assembly and then a very good use purpose is found for it. And those are the things that not decommissioning no ekoso.
Okay, that's for quarry companies na license no a must say was say what we no we bibi wo
sir so we put the land back into good use. Say around Ghana no landfill sites na north. Most of the areas are quarries for a long time when they were being decommissioned no they landfill sites. Into call say is it Mala Mandela Estate one more side that there used to be one day.
Oh, okay.
Oko a Soto Maria. There used to be back one no friend Dogo Rami. and they were used for land use site tight or more backfilling and the place has been put to good use. So usually with the plan that you put across to EPA, then that is what you follow, because that will be acceptable legally. Then they follow that one and make sure that it is properly decommissioned.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or machines be so also as part of the decommissioning will be to 2 machines. You don't just leave equipment there. And Kolani, the public will just go there and then get hurt, because mining equipment are risky ones. Actually, when Ukraine ultimate pra and into inspectorate division for no, they actually hammer on health and safety. Into Uja machines be good on more unattended to. Anybody can get there and then get hurt.
You didn't come out about mining contribution to economy in GDP. I mostly no industrial mining sheda man communim. Is it say a lot of the industrial minerals no and yet they export here now? Do we use all of them in country?
Yeah, majority of them you use in country.
Okay.
And as I say, it's an investment levels na ekono. Ebi no more pese or more export niema. Enti ebi to say tiles are ye nansi in Ghana. Oshe twice for they are supplying the whole West Africa, and they are producing from Ghana. Say contribution neighbor, they will rather maybe send it to trade and industry, but indirectly they will be taking the material from industrial minerals. Oshe cement materials no do na with the exception of clinker or more import no. Nanze kura ebinum kura nra kura obi ba office or person or year substitute for clinker, so he will be reducing a certain percentage of the clinker and then work with it, but ninyina no on standard boss for be ye adwuma to see say enti sa niema ninyina no enso ewo ho ye wo omo so a omo astarte omo ye dimension stones for export into the South American countries.
Okay.
And he say a bit more fierce than the ye said that level no so no ebekosro. And then we have the salt industry, which say no obi super so hit as much as 1 million tons per year. And then majority of it will be exported. So in that direction no, there will be a lot of revenue coming in that direction. So yeah, managing in such a way say we'll continue also to market it. Also honor who mineral beer, also who market be outsider. You can also join the fray and then also work with us, and then we all increase the benefits to the nation.
Very well. And my angel concluding remarks near fan
yeah, your concluding remarks ne say because what the tea for us or mutie na and kai body education aye nyina no eye emwa ye pese obia eboa ye ne yetimi manage natural resources no eye enti o obia bi na obi ye ade bi na bia unnim ana wonte ase ana wonji ntumukura na feel free contact Minerals Commission and we'll see how best to handle the situation. So yeah, illegality, we'll hand it over to the security agencies to deal with it for us. Yeah, but there will be
that's so sir and the Minerals Commission in Penyafua and Odin Como every Thursday, said the Munimino and a trust. So Eric Emmanuel Bukari or assistant manager, small scale and industrial minerals, our Minerals Commission and I'm Motene Bukari, yeah, that's it. You best answer from next week. Ekosiisen Asempa 94.7 FM. In the Ebashana Yetimi Atwa, so said the Kano, the Honorable Samuel Okuja Blackwa, Ebe Cancer, Nafi, Yedi and Como, in Sembebrina, Ewoho, the application to the Supreme Court and other matters arising. After this short break, Yemana Kwaba, Neasha said in Como, Yebes here.
Asempa Biaba. Upesika akostati ejuma bi unya bosia atre udwadie mu uye government and private worker unya sika de ate hot bi so uye busumi ejuma unya scan tempa bi so Any na quick credit be ma obosiam wetua ne kakra. Eye collateral free loan na susu savings account opening ni deposit biara nim. De hia ne se wo ye Ghana ni na wo Ghana card. Se wanye adwuma afi we mu de kodia na wa na wo pe o excuse biara nim. For quick credit it was 0302 200 390 and 0596 920-833. Number for biara frewa enya quick credit. Shenen so say quick credit and loan ewo internet so. Enti shena obiara andada. Bank of Ghana amomu dwede ho kwan na kaisen nhyehyɛ da ho.
Quick credit. Lending made simple.
So wo fese dey na wo ka anya utumi luzu bibia bi enu nti na Edu Motors ewo ho wo ka ya dada uni sika pudu adbeto foforo a ko Edu Motors ono be yen hyehye ama wo ka foforo for our driver's license 2 passport pictures and 2 guarantors omuni wachi enko Edu Motors netu ya 10% of car na openable why ya ka wo na wie ni aka no obetua no small Edu Motors dey ahoto aba insurance no obetwa ma free na se wo engine no kra say a omo ba ko asem free to amika koye head office ewo Kaswa Widiba Road Barrier Junction baby awo na ho me pato G number we ne frɛ je betche we Edu Motors branch e be wo no akwaje wo ka
0575 047 303 ana 0550 342 562
Edu Motors, your light has come.
Abnenie, mami a okuta chirme posronko.
I've been blessed with 3 beautiful daughters.
We see ne bose, obetutu ne mama mi enseni nyina abrabo. Mane sisi ye wo bibiare mu.
If you want to live in poverty without making something of yourself, you can do that. But I will not allow you to drag your sisters with you. Never.
Shodo a emu ohye, oye kire ne akomatie wo eno sini kaya Showmax dia. Sign up. Na hwe eno wo showmax.com. Na wonso sepe wo hu bi. Wo hia enhyehyeye bia o. To me a trim a bribia ope.
Yes, pion, ya junior mwachile.
Pia watera.
Yes.
Na, you see a measure shampoo unibi.
Ni woni nyine.
Measure say cool.
Na die ni say cool.
Say cool natural mineral water you still project a Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Aye CSIR Water Research Institute. Aye enye na kra. Sa wono mo wo miri mo jo form na enye kama.
Na ehe na menye bi.
Ko say cool natural mineral water for asiye wonankesi ningo kofodia sum kwantempo so. Say eye sachet bottle eno no wo size nyina bi. Entifra won wo 026903110 ana baby a woton su bia wo benya bi. Say cool natural mineral water
absolutely refreshing.
FD ahwehwe say dwede nkra to yi mo agya to mu say eye.
Hey, lala didi lala. What worry has so dear? Na me dear yemia. Africa Queen Mackerel bonnet juma wo sesen. Africa Queen Mackerel leader what ya see owunia. Se wo de ye aduane a. E dance tomato sauce na egu ho no so e ye rich. E pise wo. Nti e me aduane ne de ye stronko. Enam no so hye muma. Na me kire se nam panko a. Wa wo beti ase. Na wo be check so. Africa Queen Mackerel dear. E ye grade 1 o. Na me say se me twakwa me nkwan. Na me tu bi gu mu a. Ato ne term so. Honey, Obaba, papa. Oh you ma. Me do. Me just say, jollof, Gary photo, rice and stew, and piscine gravy dear. Africa Queen Mackerel ni mo. Intimi nyina o. Ampa. Africa Queen Mackerel. Shawenum keke. Nam papa no.
Africa Queen. Africa Queen. Shawenum keke.
Asempa FM.
On Asempa FM.
Freshman capsules, a one memon pomudin, fresh cool capsules, a yema cuckoo,
fresh lady capsules, a woman maumutia or mufichukum.
Name or pinful or buy one more menu for now for that when you do me no come. 0243 559 319.
FD Associate Jadi and Cry to Mwaja to Muse a year.
Fresh products, hashtag Bobra.
Majami who already.
Daddy, wait, ya wa. So fubia, one fa, and Kenya Nisa Sabaku. Yatama ni Pada Brudia, Wako. Yasama Langard for bring where we na Ostek property for na Mekasako woman. Ekosiisen.
Na same kuta 6,000 Ghana cedis pa. Metumi nya sase wo Ostek property.
Sa mekachre. Come sase no so di deyi ankasa. Jojo wa Asebi Shy Hills. Afie Ayikuma Suchari Junction. So when any Chopoli airport nyina.
We kumi kura ni 200 blocks. Any 10 cement bags. Eto asase no. Wasan the pills so free no.
Waka. Na so pese wo swap de ji asase mpo. E ya ma do. Free Ostek Properties.
One more office no do wa. One more fair service no opposite. 0240-933-740 and 0266-101-406. Ostek Properties. Omo sasi urankasa.
Mama, tell me master's degree program Ekano online. Maybe me investment accounting so mama first kaka gumu. Me dem.
Hey, Oba, na se we dia obosu mi sika ni nyina asan.
Oh, me okay kra. Me wabosu mi akete afufrobio.
Osei.
EcoBank double salary promo idie. E free na de kodu 31st March 2022. Your customers bosu mi akweti ani nyina awoje no. Ye momo hu mienu e ma wenfa akọ ho kra o. Nya be ya ne se, ubebie EcoBank salary account. Ana so obeji waketia afa EcoBank na nya mo hu mienu emre yem. Fa bosu mi akwetia no efa EcoBank ene yia. Fra EcoBank se sia ya nje wo hwe. E wo 0800-003225. Ana email yen wo ecobank@ecobank.com.
Then one can be bisa. Me yim salary account ako EcoBank CCA.
Any Oba, they come me huntem. Now be saying ya free life insurance. Any ni Oma baby, wa account no so.
And to check a crowd who Sakra de National Lottery Authority for Caritas platform no and HSO. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hey, you're the up and coming landlord. Who then yes where you?
Kwame, I don't mean you. Aka roofing and a ceiling. Na me contract anon so say. Me feni na enko dan rocksters. Wonso wo kromo pan. Wo dwen ho sen.
The contract and wo nimnia ko. Ghana had here a ban of quality metal trusses, roofing sheet, plasterboard, and a POP ceiling there. Aye rocksters.
Ekosiise On
Asempa
FM.
Papa and who akade asum Ghana for.
Enka yesi ya no mu die nso ebo.
Enia du fudi achi na nkotwa de bon ne nsunda achi. Fre 0544-338041. Say metal trusses, roofing sheet, plasterboard and a POP ceiling there. Fre rocksters na won twa wontum.
Anytime I feel lonely, feeling sad, only one station makes me happy. When I wake up in the morning, only this station makes my day. Yeah. Oh, Asempa, Asempa, Asempa FM. Asempa, Asempa, Asempa FM. Oh, Asempa, Asempa, Asempa FM. Asempa, Asempa, Asempa FM. 94.7.
94.7 Asempa FM so ne Ekosiisen dwumadi no wasugusu awutie no ma yenna munyina asene yensan mama
Asempa FM.
Emfa momra Ekosiisen so e wa Asempa FM enso eye nipa titru bebre na awoda I was say hwe ne ma won a happy birthday. Let me start with my senior brother David Asamoah and Profi with Anglo Gold Ashanti no Boase and the David Teria Asamoah and Profi. Happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday. Have a good one. Live to be 94.7. You've been a pillar in this family. We appreciate you so much. On behalf of myself and the family, we say happy birthday, and do have a memorable one. Let me see the other ones we have here. Okay. Some other messages, wishing people a happy birthday. Let me see this one. We say, Obi, I am doing the listening inside Kumase Kokoso, new site near the 4BN military barracks. And I extend my warm greetings to Omanhene Kwabena Asante. We every Kwame China. And on the way eba Kwame China that's it. So we say Obi. Please kindly dedicate today's show to one of your ardent listeners by name Mr. Kofi Edu of Valco. Today marks his 55th birthday, and on behalf of all workers at Valco, we wish our boss Mr. Kofi Edu a happy birthday. May God bless him for us. Nana Amponsa bediakon edie enie. This one says, a happy birthday to you, Emmanuel. Enjoy your day from the Church of Pentecost, Soutuom Central Youth Ministry. Going out to you, Emmanuel. Do have a good one. Good afternoon, Obi. A happy birthday to Kwesi Reynolds of Agona Odobin, and a very special birthday to Ambassador Jude Kwame Osei of the World Health Organization in Geneva. Okay, Nana Ekuyamwa Boaten Ewo Ablekoma Central, and on the way Abre Nana Ekuyamwa Boaten Ablekoma Central. We say, Obi, yesterday's State of the Nation's address read by our president totally ended with the hope of our economy. With our little support paying of taxes, we can bounce back and continue to plead with the finance minister for good accountability on the E-levy. Greetings to Honorable Ophelia Mensa Hayford. Nana Kwame Opasco is in Sawem. Prince Henry Wokofuridi, and he says, one thing that is good is the E-levy will not discriminate in terms of payment. Same as fuel won't discriminate. MPP, NDC, and the rest will all enjoy together. The future is pregnant. Regards to Honorable Basel Kwejo Ahiable and the Honorable Julius Deborah. Okay. Obi, special happy birthday to Madame Portia, a youth leader of Temple of Mercy International Church, Dansoman Glefe. And this is from members of the church. To you, Madame Portia, who is a youth leader, Temple of Mercy International Church, Dansoman Glefe. And let me render this apology as well. Mo joining your stream from the start of the show, both on Facebook and then on YouTube. It was a stream ekate along the line. Mo fanche I say I restarted stream you can log on to Facebook and get to watch our show live on Facebook. And please post your comments. Oko Facebook Asempa 94.7 FM. On YouTube and so the same thing, 94.7 FM. Ubetimi ede wadrentre egu while you watch our show. Very, very, very important. Let me see. We say, Obi, good afternoon. I just want to know if the clerk of parliament was compromised to allow for the supposed passage of the E-levy. How come 8 NDC members who were present be marked absent, and could this development reverse the passage of the E-levy in any way? Thank you, Samuel Ablodepe. The speaker has said he's apologized to them and says it was an error. And Wama or more correction if you followed the proceedings, and also our chat with our parliamentary correspondent, you would see say the correction. Did the records now reflect they were present on the day? Samuel Ablodepe, thank you nonetheless for coming through with your thoughts. Let me see the other ones. We say, Obi, kindly wish me a happy birthday. I ask for God's goodness upon my life. Jesse Behene.
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM.
Obi, there is a scam institution. Okay, a scam institution. How do you know say a scam? Also, they have been hacking people's number for so long. What are the cybersecurity people doing about this? They have been hacking people on various platforms, and it is becoming too much. Gastiman in Brekum. Gastiman, how do you conclude some way a scam institute? Have you seen any official message from any of the regulators? If not, anything a man for Mudin and Tribunal, because if we are not careful, inadvertently, na ESA will be a Juma. We say, good afternoon, Obi. We are grateful to God for how far He has brought us in this first quarter. Let me also wish my brother Nana Okata Kwesi, Senior Intelligence Officer at the National Lottery Authority, a happy birthday. May the lines fall for him in the right places, and may his desires be met. Live to be 94.7 and beyond. Chairman, Obiarabidi the Good. Enti Nana Okata Kwesi, happy birthday to you. Wayfree Alex Martinson, coming all the way to you. Good afternoon, Obi. Ekosiisen is airborne inside London, and I'm doing the listening live with Angel Akosia Konedua Mwako and Patrick Osajefo. A happy, glorious birthday going out to Princess Raima, aka Nana Ama inside Pokwasi ACP. Wishing you long life and prosperity, Nanama. Master P. London, Edie Enie. Let me see. This one says, the E-levy will bring massive development to Ghana. I believe the government will use the proceeds to develop a better Ghana. Regards to Alfred Esiedu, incoming half original NPP organizer, Wefri Eric Kweku Bwedi of the Patriotic Voices, all the way in Bechim, and Ono ATA. Obi, good afternoon. Please, the minority leader informed the speaker that all minority caucus were living. In an earlier parliament under Speaker Okwe, when the minority leader had told the speaker about the walkout, the deputy leader stayed and checked a quorum. Majority leader opposed it on the grounds that the minority leader had informed the House that all the caucus was walking out. So even though members were still filing out, the clerks had recorded that they were walking out
Ekosiisen On Asempa
anyways. Eugene Ishen Elliott, Ediwe Abrey. We say Obi, some politicians want to eat their cake and still have it. Why are the same people who have rejected the ruling of the Supreme Court on their standing orders that no court can interfere with a decision of Parliament, but they are asking the same court to reverse what the House has decided on? We can deceive ourselves, but not all Ghanaians. Mamenkai also said the Roads and Highways Ministry issue statement. Mekai Edi Amamwese Obi, I'm doing the listening live from Virginia in the US of A. Jimmy Owusu Kwating. Jimmy Owusu Kwating. I'm told you're a regular listener of our show. Thank you so much. And greetings to our friends, our listeners, all the way in Virginia, especially Muamutia and Va Hope for Life Radio, which is a radio station in Virginia. We are grateful. I'm told, sir, World Cup draw, no? I say, Omoye Eddie Ashisha Swanesa. Draw near the Beochna. And where is seats?
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM.
In the seats now, Abana pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, and a pot 4. Now Ghana ever pot 4. Okay. Now just say, and you have teams now pot 4 nibi. Okay. In the Ghana we pot 4. Pot 4 no ye Cameroon, Canada, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, Costa Rica or New Zealand, do you ever qualify? Peru or Australia or UAE, do you ever qualify? Wales or Scotland or Ukraine. Pot 3 near Senegal, Iran, Japan, Morocco, Serbia, Poland, South Korea, and Tunisia. Pot 2, Mexico, Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, Uruguay, Switzerland, USMNT, and Croatia. Pot 1 here, Qatar, Brazil, Belgium, France, Argentina, England, Spain, Portugal. I suspect they honor seeded teams, no ever. USA. Hey. Our men national team. Abba.
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM.
In the Pot 1 na seeded teams, no ever. We look at Pot 1 na Qatar, Brazil, Belgium, France, Argentina, England, Spain, Portugal. Wow. Because also, so here a line that's what Argentina, Uruguay, Serbia, Ghana. That be a man is hey. I go ban is I as one in the let's see. I mean, which countries do you want Ghana to meet at the group stage? Because there would be 4 teams in each group, I suppose. And countries now are qualifying apart from a few ones who are yet to join. But countries na medi wundin atudwa no. And it will be an interesting draw. But said the name Besiako Nyame ya Adomo a Ochina. Very, very, very important. While we wait for the Honorable Okujeto Ablakwano, ma memfa we in Chem, I've told you, sir, area Roads and Highways Ministry at the statement aba, you know. And that statement, no,
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM.
A response to Nsama Omanpenyidi Tuja in his State of the Nation's address, Enra. I'll read that entire statement no for you in a moment. But Mamemfa we in briefly nafe mensign Emra's statement no eso. That's the statement from the Roads and Highways Ministry. We say good afternoon, Obi. I would like to say a big happy birthday to my deputy coordinator and manager, Jesse Bear. In goodness and mercies follow him every day. Long life. Jesse Bear of Abeka, Okaikwe Central. We if kwabena asiedu father, ononso Abeka, Okaikwe Central, no the way abrain. We say Obi, I want Ghana to meet Iran, Poland, and Switzerland. Share. And the Hawaii. I group with the Anka Gome. And easy sign. Let's keep our fingers crossed and our hopes high. Now, but at least there seeded teams in the Yebisia Bako. There will meet one of the seeded teams. I mean, that we cannot run away from. And the idea was say a Shannon so near prepare for.
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM.
We say explanation on State of the Nation address, SONA 2022 by His Excellency the President of the Republic, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, statement on road sector. As part of the SONA 2022, the President stated as follows, quote, Mr. Speaker, it is in the road sector that we have registered the greatest infrastructure achievement. I know that the word unprecedented is often used with careless abandon in our public discourse, but I use it carefully and purposefully. In the 5 years of my government, so far, more roads have been built, improved, and upgraded than any other equivalent period under any government in the history of Ghana, unquote. Okay, now the quote continues. Some 10,875 kilometers of new roads have been constructed in these 5 years. Let me mention that yesterday, it was my honor and great pleasure to have commissioned the Tamale interchange, the first such interchange in the northern sector of our country, which the people of Tamale celebrated. I consider it to be a most satisfying birthday present. We intend to continue with the building of roads around the country to accelerate the opening of our country. And Jackson, I think I will say what this idea way, what this statement we are too. I don't know if you don't have it. But the better Facebook is here more Facebook, no, because there is some data Roads and Highways Ministry, I share. I think listeners would have to see it for themselves while we read through. Almost the following seek to explain the paragraph concerning the length of kilometerage constructed over the past 5 years, as stated in the President's SONA speech. In 2017, the total network size was 78,402 kilometers. As at the end of 2021, the projected network size had increased to 94,203 kilometers. This length is currently undergoing validation by the ministry. Table 1 below shows Ghana's provisional road network statistics currently. In the other table, no air to Facebook Live, more sharing with and say the a stream no end there abruptly. They say, I won't join here, please. The stream is back now. You can join and get to watch us, and see the things we are sharing with you. In the Ghana's road network statistics, 2017 to 2021. Network size, 2017, Now 78,402 kilometers. Projected 2021 94,203 kilometers. Length of network by road class. And you know na yadi to Facebook in the length of network by road class. Trunk roads 14,583 kilometers. Projected 14,948 and we projected now baby omode asterisks asheno the ministry is still validating the data in the who projected our asterisks. For example, network size 2021 projected 94,203 kilometers a provisional into the data is still being validated. But for the length of network by road class, asterisk be not just a validate here into trunk roads feeder roads 2017 now 48,357 kilometers. 2021 50,775. Urban roads 2017 15,462 kilometers. Projected 2021 28,480 kilometers. Percentage of paved 23 kilometers in 2017, now 27%. Percentage unpaved 77% in 2017, now 73%. Road condition mix, good road 2017 39%, 2021 44%. Fair road 2017 32, 2021 34. Poor 29 in 2017, 22 in 2021. And that's the data roads ministry etumi ede atuja said munyina mo hwe on Facebook no. Almost say it can be noted from the table above that the network is composed of both paved and unpaved roads. However, it is significant to note that the majority of roads, over 70% in the road network, are unpaved. Technically, any activity on the road amounts to construction. Hence, His Excellency the President's statement that so far, more roads have been built, improved, and upgraded than at any other equivalent period under any government in the history of Ghana. Paved roads. On paved roads, key activities that have been undertaken include minor rehabilitation and upgrading, partial reconstruction and asphalt overlays. On paved roads. On the unpaved roads, however, activities mainly undertaken include grading, graveling, re-graveling, and spot improvement. In an answer to a question posed by Honorable Eric Affle, the Honorable Minister of Roads and Highways stated on 15 February 2022 in Parliament that a total of 4,263 kilometers had been constructed or maintained on the paved and unpaved roads between January 2017 and May 2021. This did not take into account the ongoing road activities that had not been completed by end May 2021. As at end of February 2022, a total of 1,702 kilometers of construction and maintenance activities which were undertaken on paved roads and 4,910 kilometers of works on unpaved roads had been completed. The data on completed works have subsequently been updated to 10,875 kilometers as at the end of February 2022. Over the past 5 years, a lot of investment had gone into both the paved and unpaved roads to improve the riding quality on our roads. The 10,875 kilometers of roads constructed have been on both paved and unpaved roads. Now, unpaved roads, no roads, man. That is a road I ain't so. In then, no, my age, you have been watching a chasso.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Anyways, the statement goes on and on, but and they said the American cano and the discussion segment now will focus on this subject. And yebenya Honorable Clemens Agboja, ono ye ranking member on the Roads and Highways and Transport Committee. And yebenya Honorable Sylvester Tete, enso studio had 2 MPs. Na afe yetimi edisa uncommon, so we go into details of this release from the ministry vis-a-vis the claims of the president in the State of the Nation's address. Now, yasanso adjuxtapose to what the minister presented to Parliament early this year, because they were presented to Parliament now from 2017 to I think May 2021. But at the time, they were 4,500 and something. From that time till 2022, February, minister no edit sa details come out Parliament. No, what the statement is saying is almost more than 6,000 kilometers I edit account. We'll spend some more time on this. In discussion segment. No, now interrogating issues. No. But I can say the Honorable Samuel Lokuye to Blakwa atnase e studio ha ye be na kwa bana fe ye de yen komo no etumi ahyehye so munhya ne nso emfa emayin Honorable akwa ba boko de
obi nyame adomo
ya da nyame ase
I hope say wo ye
adom na Parliament boko
nyame adom obia ho ye. Still working hard for God and country.
I can see that. We've been following your exploits, and we are proud of you. Always proud of you.
Thank you very much. Most humbled.
Yes. Indeed, yes, and from the proceedings, no, I settled a lot of the issues. I don't imagine we go Supreme Court now.
Yo, me that say Edikan my main chat here for na menda mwasi se mwafreme on this. Very important matters of national interest. Me pese answer na me ye question no. Me pese me congratulate the senior national team, the Black Stars. Say since
Ekosiisen On Asempa
historic qualification, no. Menya the opportunity to congratulate them. There was statement in Parliament later today, we will all have the opportunity to congratulate the Black Stars in Parliament. Now, so out of Parliament, this is my first media engagement after the qualification. Na inyana sena afkono koye ya buhunye pa wekoye anangoye but we were optimistic. I mean, as a patriot, as a nationalist, you have only one country,
of course,
and you have no choice. And football is the passion of the nation. Even when your mind is telling you that this time Munsheda need solid team, your heart is going all out, and you are hopeful against all odds. So we will qualify, and as I said, your board technical team Nabaso, Coach Otuado has been phenomenal, and those of us who are Pan-Africanists, he has proven, beyond reasonable doubt, whatever credit you give to the white man, the black man is capable. As the Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said 65 years ago, the black man is also capable, and more than capable, and also a qualifier to the World Cup. And I know that he will excel because what I say. I mean, look, on paper, the Nigerians had far more stars, more accomplished players. Now, so he was able to, in such a short time, I mean, how many...
Under 1 week.
Yeah, how many so-called European, high-class coaches can achieve what he has achieved in this short time? I mean, what he's done is a miracle. And the entire technical team and the boys.
We should probably maintain this technical team.
Oh yes, absolutely.
With him as the head coach.
Absolutely. I'm saying it's one of the few things in recent times I agree with the president.
I agree with the president
yes. And the technical team should be maintained fully. I mean, unlike the president's cabinet that must be reshuffled, as for Otuado's technical team, they have to be maintained. No reshuffling. It has to be. They've done a yeoman's job. And the boys too were very hungry. They were determined to prove a point, so that they bring back the love. And I must say, sir, they have defied the odds. I mean, to go into Nigeria, and if you see how they were hostile and all the impediments they put in their way, but as I say, I condemn the Nigerian reaction. As ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, these are matters we do not want to see in the Committee of Nations. Football is a friendly sport. It's supposed to bring countries together, and so say you engage in such unruly conduct. It was really, really needless. I mean, stampede, leading to even the death of a CAF official, medical doctor. I mean, Wakra in the year in Embase, Meiko, Yemejuma, Nigeria, and then he never returns just because of hooligans.
Very sad.
I hope FIFA will take a serious view of the matter. And let some sanctions apply, in as much as they are big brothers and we have very friendly relations. No, such conduct cannot. Upon reflection, they will regret their actions, and it's not the way to go. Send vandalize the stadium.
The whole everything.
I mean, a stadium that before the match, Amokachimu were teasing us that they have a better stadium. Now look at what they've done to it. It's in ruins. That's really condemnable, and we wish the team well. I hope, sir. Ochina draw now, we will. Well, I mean, Robia. I mean, Osha, we are World Cup record. We always beat tough teams. I mean, we've even met world number ones before. Share Italy, share Czech, share. I mean, we've met Germany and all, and we've held our own. I can say that we have arrived on the world stage, and let them come. They should bring it on. Yeah, they should bring it on.
This World Cup in November will be really exciting.
It will be exciting. But I must conclude on the fact that only 5 countries from Africa going to the World Cup now. It has to stop, and I'm glad they are promising some reforms in 2026, and we'll all be watching closely. I mean, we'll share some of the teams, some of the countries. Look, all the 10 teams on ball playoff. Look at the quality of the match. Look at the quality. Can you imagine, Tunisia, Egypt? I mean,
Nigeria even will not be going to the World Cup.
And then I don't want to, in these matters, sovereign nations, but say footballer. I mean, and look,
European teams,
they've cheated us for too long. Those promised reforms in there, we are all monitoring keenly, as I said, Basso, and
I think
they must open up the space.
10 teams from Africa will not be bad.
Will not be bad at all. Will not be bad at all. Even 15 will not be bad. Look, I mean, let's stop this discrimination and get serious. Look, Yankanokre, in a lot of these European teams, where are a lot of the players from? A lot of the players are from Africa. You will see an Italian World Cup winning team. Now, so you see, a lot of Africans there, including Ghanaians. France, Germany, Portugal. I mean, I mean, who are you really deceiving? I mean, we were long of age when it comes to, the game, and those reforms are late in the day. It must happen.
At least 10 from Africa to start with. Because Europe in out of 32, Europe parades 16.
I mean, look at that.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, look at that. Look at that.
Parade is 13. Europe here 13. Okay. And Africa here 5. And then South America. South America also 5. Yes, almost so much protest, honorable.
Yeah, but Osha, the size of Africa.
Yeah, we are
bigger. Much bigger. 54 countries at least.
At least 10 will not be bad.
It won't be bad at all. We've been cheated for far too long.
It's true. In the question I mean,
yes.
And the speaker na rulings be, wama directives be, a settle more issues na more court na.
Oh, Mecca said it has rather strengthened our case for court.
Okay.
Because OSHA, the votes on proceedings, it even made the front pages of some of the newspapers today. Yes. The votes and proceedings of the 29th of March, which is the day in contention. OSHA, that votes and proceedings now. There were just too many errors. Now, these votes and proceedings has become very, very important because of evidential value. This votes and proceedings, and attach a statement of case to make the point clearly to the Supreme Court. Say, Omoana Omoshiaye, purporting to pass the E-levy, they didn't meet the minimum threshold of 138 members of Parliament, according to Article 1041 of the Constitution. OSHA Article 1041. Very unambiguous. Say, except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of the majority of members present and voting, with at least half of all members of Parliament present. And half, 138.
And the Supreme Court has settled.
The Supreme Court has settled the matter in the Justice Abdullahi case. We were really surprised when Andra, President Barr, to deliver the message on the state of the nation, and we're giving the votes and proceedings as is customary. That's the practice. At every sitting, you are giving the votes and proceedings of the previous day. Votes and proceedings, the benefit of our listeners, who may not be conversant with parliamentary affairs, it's just the minutes, a summary of the records of what transpired in any given day. Into the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 29th March. When we went through, we were shocked to realize
a capture attendance.
A capture attendance. It mainly captures attendance. Attendance in three categories. Omoa omobaye, those present. Omoa omwamba, those absent. And omoa omwamba, but with permission. Omoje permission from the speaker. Say, Ebia BBSC, Ebia medical, it should be on to member. Into those three categories. And then it goes on to summarize the business of the day, what had transpired. Now, OSHA, the attendance, which is very, very, very critical. Item number 3 at page 8. Surprisingly, as many as 8 members of our side, the NDC caucus, were reported as absent. Meanwhile, they were all present. It is important to state, we took a very strong view of that, particularly as there were media reports, and these members of Parliament have come under enormous criticism. Also, because the stakes are so high, na ebia kasa ebia omwako jessica and
stay out.
And then some reports also suggested we've exposed the minorities and they couldn't mobilize their numbers. Intiana almost stagey work out that it wasn't really a strategic and a tactical move and all of that. And then those matters have been settled. All of these members were present. They came to the House and made a case, and the Speaker took a strong view. Indeed, the clerks at table even came under heavy, bombardment. It was almost like Putin's bombardment in Ukraine. They should not be doing this because the stakes are so high, and you can't afford to make these mistakes. The other very, very crucial omission, when we went through the votes and proceedings, and he said,
and wait for the 29th
of March. Will you believe, sir, the clerks at table did not capture the walkout?
The fact that minority walk out.
Yes. Meanwhile, your leader, Soraya, Kasaya, survey notice, say, we will not be part of the vote on this E-levy. We are walking out. And it was a strategic decision to walk out, to deny the majority group side the correct number, because now you say
138
omunya 138, because at the time I walk out they were at best 136, because the Honorable Adjasafo na Onigana, the Honorable Kojo Kum was not in the chamber. There is some rumor say he was in an ambulance in the Precincts of Parliament, but I did not go and inspect the ambulance.
Speaker has confirmed that.
Yes, when I raised it today, the Speaker said he did his own independent checks, and Kojokum was in an ambulance. Again, those are matters that I think that even as a house, we should take a serious view. Obi Yarea, do we push the person that far? And remember, say, even to qualify to be a member of parliament, to make laws, to vote on these matters, you should be of sound mind. You should be in a good place. I wish you, say, because I don't know the conditions, and I wish him a speedy recovery. He's a nice man. I mean, I have nothing against him. I'm always praying for him, because these things can happen to any of us. These are not things that you wish on anybody. But having said that, it's for good reason. Even to vote, to qualify to vote, Krano, you should be 18 years of sound mind. To qualify to be a member of parliament, I wish you that, if it had come to moving him out of the ambulance in a stretcher to come and vote, he even has a presence of mind on him, the Koso. So these are matters that some of us even intend to test later in our law courts, so that these matters will be settled, because it to me is not proper, apart from even affronting the dignity of the person, and I don't know if his family members really were aware about this whole arrangement and if they endorsed it. It's so, it looks quite inhumane, ugly. And so that is for Kojokum. So that means that our colleagues did not have 138.
At least 136.
136 at the time we walked out. It is surprising, sir, when you go through the entire 33-page votes and proceedings, capture, you walk out, capture. And interesting, Kojokum was captured as present. And I raised that today. I made issue of it. And the speaker said, well, once
our precinct of the house,
you're driving up our ambulance, into Odia, let's leave them. And I didn't really want to push it. But you see, let's be careful, because even if we had certain notions in the past, and the speaker belongs to that old school of thought, and he was very strong about that today, say, no dear, once you're in the because parliamentary business, you can be in committee, if you are constituents, to visit you, and all of that. And to him, attendance should not be restricted to chamber.
Present in the chamber.
But in the Justice Abdullah case, the Supreme Court has held clearly, said the constitutional provision, present and voting. So far as that case is concerned, that is the authority, that is the settled law now. Until such a time, if there's some review and some change of position. But Onim said, the speaker, he has a very strong view about the judgment.
The judgment itself.
He calls it a reckless incursion into parliamentary, and it has even raised issues about the political question doctrine, separation of powers and all of that. He has a very strong, sometimes even off the chamber, there are heated debates that go on behind the scenes and all of that. He feels very strongly about, the portions of the judgment he disagrees with. But whether we like it or not, that is a settled law, and you can't run away from it. Until when you look at 26 November 2021, 26 November, Ubekaya, we, the NDC caucus, we stayed behind after the MPP had walked out. The MPP MPs walked out. That was the day. Rejected budget. Rejected budget.
Yes.
Ubekaya, Speaker, continued with proceedings. Now, when you read the votes and proceedings of that day, I have a copy here, Friday, 26 November 2021, page 9. Item number 7. See, in an uproar in the chamber, the majority caucus walked out after the Right Honourable Speaker had directed that the lobbies be cleared to pave way for the division. It was captured. The timer almost walking out. It was well captured, and they even captured at page 10. They captured Omwana, who stayed behind, which is here 137. It clearly even helped the Supreme Court in coming to the determination in the Justice Abdullah case. For consistency, we were very outraged today. Sir, is it sloppiness? Is it incompetence? Is it ineptitude?
Deliberate?
Is it deliberate? Some of our colleagues thought it's a diabolic scheme and all of that. How on earth do you not capture that? This was I mean, the viewership that day, 29th, it's unprecedented. I mean, Ghanaians are following this matter keenly. E-levy, is so unpopular. It's the most hated tax revenue policy, in the history of this country. And to have such a charge matter, and then you don't capture the workout. And we took the view, say, Ebiana, because Obi in himself, that is a very evidential, piece of document, the votes and proceedings of 29th March. And Nona, they call your case. And indeed, the Honorable Afenyomakin said, the way I charge and then all of that, when who say people are concerned about their case at the Supreme Court and all of that, which we thought was needlessly, provocative. But to just cut a long story short, Emide said, in the final analysis, Speaker Eruli said, all those omissions should be properly captured. And indeed, the corrections were made, and the new votes and proceedings were adopted as the true record
of what happened on the
29th. When we return tomorrow, we shall get a copy the votes and proceedings of today's, meeting, will reflect. All the corrections that have been made.
What it means is, walkout will be captured.
It will be captured.
And absent, so
exactly will be captured.
Will be captured as present.
Exactly. Indian America say the Akoso and them are strengthening your case at the Supreme Court.
Because a way it piece of evidence.
Yeah.
Sisiano, you cannot take this to the Supreme Court.
Oh, sir, Supreme Court say the votes and proceedings, once it is written this way, the first publication is provisional.
Okay.
Because at every sitting, you have to, the speaker will take the whole house through, page by page.
Page by page.
If you go through the every other paper, this is the other paper for Tuesday, 29 March. You have number 1, prayers.
Prayers, yes.
Number 2, messages from the president.
Yes.
Item number 3, formal communication by the speaker.
Okay.
Item number 4, correction of votes and proceedings and official report.
Okay.
It's always on the other paper.
On the other paper.
Every other paper you take, you need to wait for the next day and I get the copy of the next day's proceedings to cross-check if there were any corrections. And I mean, there's almost always corrections. Indeed, there is C and then an upper way, it's not really strange. There are always corrections, there are always errors. Indeed, if you talk to a lot of colleagues in the House and if you follow proceedings, many people know that I take interest in that,
in corrections.
Yeah, and a lot of colleagues even leave it with me.
You are doing that a lot on the appointments committee.
I just enjoy doing that. I enjoy going through minutes, checking the records and all of that. And they always say, the T say, oh, Mr. Meticulous, even if you don't see that your name is not there or it's captured wrongly, he will see it for you. And people take it easy, and it's a hobby. I enjoy doing that. When you take the votes and proceedings, you must always wait for the corrected version because every day's publication is provisional. We will have really jeopardized our case if Anka Ende, Yanko Intem, Anko Rezi, all these issues. Then we'll have jeopardized. Then the speaker will have said, okay, the votes and proceedings are now adopted. And that will become the true record of the House. No, want to mean Supreme Court say, oh, you don't rely on it, it's not corrected, it's not finalized, there are errors. No, you had the right earlier to correct it, and you sat on those rights.
And that jeopardy would have come by the records not capturing the fact that you walked out.
Exactly, you walked out.
You were part of the decision.
Exactly, and it will mean, sir,
for me,
quorum was formed. And I am glad, sir. We took a serious view of it, and you call in temp all the absentee, those captured as absent and all of that were there, and we raised the matters forcefully, and they have been well captured, say, into Ochinano, train the final one, production, and then we will still go through
the final one, attach it to a statement of claim, another case. Now the Supreme Court. Now the evidence shows you walked out.
Exactly.
As captured in the
votes and proceedings. Yes. as captured in the votes and proceedings.
But how about the argument, sir? Yes, you walked out, but the timing of the walking out is critical. Here, against Mukes Naka said, you walked out, and in the process of walking out, when some of you were still in the chamber, the question was put. In the ones members need be present in the chamber, the quorum was still formed. And Onomogen is saying,
good. I'll come to that in a jiffy, but just to point out, sir, Omogen say what we were doing today was just because of the Supreme Court case. No, OSHA Order 59 of our standing orders, sir, it stipulates complaints concerning the accuracy of the votes and proceedings or the official report may be raised at the time appointed under Standing Order 53.
Okay.
That is order of business. Even our standing orders acknowledges
you can raise those
provisional. It's provisional. There may be concerns about accuracy, so you raise it under Order 53, and which we have done. Now, to the matter of and I saw that was their strategy to respond to our tactical maneuver of walking out. Also, after the minority leader debated, it was now the turn of the majority leader. Yes. He has served notice, we won't be part of the decision making. We are walking out. The majority leader then cleverly
calls on the speaker.
Said, no, I'm no longer debating, Mr. Speaker. Put the question. Put the question. Because they wanted to make the argument they are making today. Say, you put a question. We compelled you to put the question quickly. Not all of them had walked out. Now, I know of precedents. I'm a senior member of the House where speakers have ruled, anytime that the leader of a caucus has served notice that, look, we are out, we are not part of this, the walkout takes effect. And I recall that there was a time under Speaker Dua Jaho, there had been a walkout. The Honorable then Suhum MP, the Honorable Opariansa Medase Miami Odadia Senior, had been asked to stay behind it to appear to raise quorum issues and other matters. You know, Speaker Dua Jaho said, "No, I will not support you to undermine your leader. Your leader has served notice. Say, you are not part of the deliberation. You are not part of the decision. You cannot be here and want to be given space to contribute." That is the first argument I want to put forth. Now, the second argument, which to me is most fundamental and should be given even more weight. As I say,
and my main breaking news we in Trim and the breaking news is that the president has assented to the E-levy bill. And what it means is that as we speak, it has become law as per the policy making process in Ghana. And the president has assented to the approved E-levy bill. It is now law.
It's not significant, makes no difference.
Oh, really?
I mean, he knows. No one can him. After the Justice Abdullah case, he spoke.
On Asempa FM.
It's probably the first time since he's been president that he's speaking on a judgment of the court. Yes. He said it himself. Yes. And Oka said, Article 1041 is very clear. You need 138 to be in the house. And he knows that charade, that sham, of course, is null, is void, is of no effect. It's rushing to go and assent and sign and all of that. No, he's just lending himself to an illegality. He knows. Look, there is no foundation for what is going on.
Of him signing into Uber Facebook. I'll be home. The picture of the president signing the E-levy bill and with the signature. No, not just about
picture on video.
No, I've not seen a video.
Oh, they should add a video.
It's a picture.
Look, this is just an illegal razzmatazz. Ekosiaga.
Okay.
I am clear in my mind that Article 1041, because if on the 26th of November, we were even more than this number.
Yeah.
We were 137. And at the time, and to be honest, I think I even spoke to you. I thought, once Waba and one register and the vote and proceeding has captured you, say you were in attendance, no. It should apply. The quorum has been, yes. Honestly, that's the view I took. That's the view I held. If that view had been allowed to stand anchor, the president signing today and all what is going on will have been, lawful, and you can say it's unimpeachable. But the Supreme Court took the view, say there is present and voting. The constitutional provision, present, coming to sign and walking out, and I say one stage walk out, crana, Abia, Uko Johnson, Uko Didi, and Uko Numinsiu, and whatever thing you attended to. Once you are not present during the voting,
that quorum for decision making
won't count. Until if 137 could not reject the budget, what happened has been declared a nullity. No? How can 136 saying that they have passed an E-levy be allowed to hold? Until back to that.
Second point,
very laughable claims that we forced the speaker to put the question quickly. Into some of them were in the chamber. Let's for the sake of argument accept, say, okay, we wanted to avoid a stampede. Into we were not all out. There were some still in the chamber. Meaning, unim say the lawmaking process. No, it's a process. It goes through various stages. That was the vote on the principle.
Okay.
Then after that, we came into the consideration stage. Consideration stage, no? That is where you make amendments, line by line. Each one of them is a decision-making point. Each one of them.
Each amendment.
Until you need 138. Are they saying at that time, no, so now we hadn't finished working out. Each one of them. Until that first vote, no, was just a vote to move to the next stage in the lawmaking process. It was not a final vote. Until line by line, all those amendments that were made, you need 138. When finance minister says we are reducing it from 1.75 to 1.5, you need 138. Let's delete there and put 4. All those things, they are decision points. We hear 138 because they are decision-making periods. And the Supreme Court has held, say, Article 1041 must apply. 102 no is for just a quorum for deliberations, for business to start. But for decision-making, no, you need 138. Then the most important vote, the most crucial vote, meaning, the third reading, where after the third reading, the Speaker then declares this bill has been passed. And also, no, they saying we were still, our ghosts were still trying to work out.
And that time, we
were already in a caucus meeting at DF Annan Auditorium. We were nowhere near the chamber. Nowhere near. We had worked out. We are clear in our minds. Say, the Akosono on the 29th of March is a nullity. Until President rushing to sign, putting out pictures, they should add videos, they can even do animations. And Kosiaga. It's internal. If you even follow the international media, if you follow the international investors, the markets, they still are not responding positively. There's still a cloud of uncertainty. Because Omunim said, based on the recent Supreme Court decision, as recent as 9th March, the Supreme Court was clear. So if we tried to do the same thing after you had walked out, it did not hold. The Supreme Court said it's a nullity. The budget was not rejected. How can you then say that you 136 E-levy has been approved? How can you say that? Into the Ekosiise, we know that. Look, talk to all the constitutional lawyers. Your case, your watertight, is open and shut. Incontrovertible, totally unimpeachable. I don't see how there can be any pronouncement unless the Supreme Court says,
we are departing from our earlier ruling.
And no, they have to tell us why. What are the reasons? What really has happened?
Others have said,
what new law has been detected?
Others have said, Sami, the Supreme Court can decline jurisdiction in that the Supreme Court has said earlier in earlier rulings they will not be allowed to be reduced to a trial court, and that before you invoke omu jurisdiction, it was say either on constitutional interpretation. And now say there is dissenting opinion on they understand and conform they to a constitutional provision. So, for example, to say earlier in the Justice Abudulai case, there was clearly dissenting views on what constitutes the quorum for decision making, the quorum for business to start. Some no bothered on, interpretation to 1041.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be an issue about the fact say you hear 138 to be able to take a decision. And why go to the Supreme Court? Why not the High Court?
Brilliant question. The Supreme Court very limited jurisdictions. This is the apex court of the land. Very hallowed chambers. You don't just, rush there with any mundane thing. We are conscious of that.
Okay.
We know that,
Okay.
and we have discussed that.
Okay.
Now, as I said, what Kai say, Supreme Court no. Omo jurisdiction and omo mandate and your interpretation interpretation and enforcement.
And enforcement, that's true.
Until we are going there for enforcement.
Okay.
They must enforce their decision, their earlier decision, to set aside this 29th March travesty of justice. Because what has happened now is actually disrespect to the Supreme Court. It is contemptuous of the court. And we are asking that the enforcement jurisdiction should be activated and the Supreme Court should set aside the Akosono. And we are clear. We've considered all of these options. And we have a lot of law lecturers. With all due respect, people who have taught the law for many years, decades. People like Dr. Dominic Ayeni. These are no small legal brains. People like the Harvard-trained Mahama Yariga, you can be rest assured. Your leader, Ankasa, about 20 years at the bar, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. We have discussed these matters. It's been well considered, and we are clear in our minds. We have the mandate. Now, Mateso say, Ebia can say, oh, don't worry, we have a strategy. And we are going to urge the court to do what they did to Ayeni in the
election petition hearing?
No, the special prosecutor Martin Amidu, the age matter, and just play delay tactics, so that by the time you realize Ghanaians have paid and all of that. That is when you sit down as plaintiffs and allow that. We are not going to allow that.
Okay.
And there are clear constitutional provisions when the Chief Justice, who must carry out his work, and all of us as public officials, if we must do our work and we derelict, we abdicate. There are consequences. We are not going to sleep on our rights at all. We're not going to allow these games because, fortunately, they are talking and saying it, threatening openly. Say, case, don't worry, 2025. 2026. What they are planning and how they. And I do not think the Supreme Court will lower itself to be used for such political machinations, as if MPP headquarters be. There are men and women there who are respected. I have always said, even when you disagree with their judgments, no crano, and will scandalize you. You must have enormous respect for them. To practice the law and get to that level, no. And there are people and particularly those of us who are key functionaries of the three arms of government, if you show disrespect to any other arm now, at the end of the day, there's collateral damage. Is the entire, because when we say government, it's three arms that make up that government, and you are indirectly scandalizing, all the three arms. There has to be that mutual respect. Territory in Parliament. We accorded them that respect. The Speaker duly acknowledged them. We rose up, for them to enter and to process out and all of that. And there's enormous respect for them. In, when we have to take our oath of office. And then when their budgets come before us, we must then approve and all of that. There's that, relationship, working relationship that must be based on mutual respect. Those who are making those claims out there, in the process, they are really scandalizing the court, making it look, the Supreme Court is at their beck and call. And Omona determine when the Chief Justice will call such an important case. And you see, look, at the end of the day, everybody is watching. And in this country, sovereignty resides in the people. The people who really are our employers, who have the finances, they are watching. They are assessing us. They are marking us. And they will be observing, say, Justice Abdullahi or filing it was dealt with expeditiously. Yadam Richard Sky. Dealt with expeditiously. They said that, of course, it had become mute because of the Justice Abdullahi case. Probably they should have probably consolidated. We have seen how the Supreme Court can be expeditious, can apply a certain sense of urgency in these matters. If suddenly, on this matter, cold feet be detected. What does that even do to the reputation, the image of the apex
but
court?
The other thing,
I'm not sure they will fall for that.
Apart from the substantive reliefs are more seeking, is it part of more strategy, sir, you would stay the implementation of the E-levy, which has now been assented to, thereby becoming law. We've been told by the finance minister, say, May 1st, they are almost start here implementing. Stay of execution be more plans now to stay the implementation of the E-levy.
It is a matter that is under consideration.
Okay.
And my colleagues say I am disclosing too much of our strategy, but let me just say, it's really under consideration because some of us take the view, if we don't take that part, Finance Minister Aka said they are putting in place measures. Almost by 1st May latest, almost starting implementation, almost starting G2. Now, if we sit and allow, and if by 1st May we see there are some delays and all of that, and we don't take those proactive steps, what will have happened? And it's we would have caused irreparable damage, irreparable loss to Ghanaians. Because if by the time a Supreme Court be determined, I can say, look, this matter, you should have known better. You didn't have the quorum. We set it aside. It's null, void. It's of no effect. There's no E-levy passage. How do Ghanaians get their money back? How do we retrieve that money? And how do we even get government to return those amounts to, electronic, service users? I am one of those who believes we need to take some of those proactive steps. But at this point, it's still under discussions. It's still under considerations. And it's interesting, I've just been sent the copies of what the Attorney General Godfrey Dame,
filing the statement of defense
in court in the Godfrey Dame,
in the Abdullahi case.
Justice Abdullahi case. Article 1041, in fact, deals with two things. One, the manner in which a decision on the matter is generally determined to have been made on the matter, which is set as a majority of members present and voting. And two, the number of members of parliament who must be present before a decision is made, which is set as at least half of all the members of parliament. For the current composition of parliament, that is 275 members, that number clearly must be 138.
138,
Thus, for the purposes of Article 104, that is taking a decision on any matter in Parliament, at least 138 members must be present. And out of this number, a majority must have voted on the issue. Any other construction would manifestly do unwarranted violence to the clear words of that provision. Unwarranted violence to the clear words of that provision. I mean, you can virtually carry the Attorney General's arguments and just send it to court on this particular matter.
On this one.
Now, me perceive me responded to some very unfortunate reaction and a perception ability since
against more minority members.
Yes, the minority members.
Answer now obey our reaction. Let me ask this question after.
Okay, no problem.
And I think that question will lead us into that reaction.
Yeah.
There are those who believe say the strategy you adopted to walk out because a game of numbers.
Yeah.
In the house at the time and per the records and proceedings, number 136 members.
Yeah.
Because Judge Ekosiisen, it's been proven say no absent.
Yes.
Good. In the number 136, the majority at the time, and so no months were 136 in the chamber.
Yeah.
Yenim say first line of voting be voice vote. Mu we obi timi sorry a challenge. Now we call it for division. Why didn't you use that route? Because more calling for division, or it would have been palpable. Say the numbers simply don't add up. In the anchor, this whole way, Macra, they couldn't have proceeded any further.
You made us a sir, Wama made the opportunity to respond to this matter. Eddie Kain, the Honorable Judge Ekosiisen, as I say, in his defense, as I said, I don't want his constituents and Ghana for to think that he is an irresponsible member of parliament on parliament, particularly on such an important day. The Honorable Kwesi Yobia, my name Nopan, which we share the same floor. I mean, he's my lunch partner.
Okay.
I mean, very decent, calm, nice gentleman, philanthropist par excellence. Or Canada, Jumo, he always shows me and no wonder say, I mean, he set that record, in his constituency. Even when we lost the presidential, he's really loved. Very fine gentleman. And you'll be on his own volition, on by parliament, on your reckless.
Yeah.
I mean, as we say in local parlance, he's not a kubolo, the legal machinations are akoso. Until he was, first of all, that morning, very early on, he was before the High Court on the 29th on some of those criminal charges,
against him,
which we believe are trumped up. Yeah. And it was all part of the strategy. And I'll come to the larger machinations I call so that day. When he said that day, your nodding MPs were invited to join the president. Yes,
the commissioner
of Tamale interchange. Yes, that invitation. Meanwhile, we arrive in Parliament to see the Rose Minister in Parliament. Ready to vote. I'll come to all those machinations, of course. The Honorable Judge Ekosiisen, and nepe say media member Parliament, but because of those schemes, and then Kaise, even the appeal, the stay of execution against the Cape Coast High Court decision, said he shouldn't hold himself as MP. He had lost that, and his lawyers had gone back at the time filing other papers, and they had advised, hey, be careful. If you go into the chamber, wait. So we were communicating with his lawyers because they were filing some papers to see how at least he can have some safeguard, because we didn't want him to be in contempt of court. Let the records reflect, because of the legal machinations, and on a keeping out, and which we reduce our numbers to 136. Now, Yetnianom Aomuo MPP, the majority group, they had 136 in the chamber.
Yeah.
All right, that is true.
Yeah.
However, we were smart enough to detect that an ambulance had arrived. And the Honorable Ebenezer Kojokum was in the ambulance. Indeed, our leadership did some moves to check, to look through and be sure that, and today the speaker confirmed. So on also running the checks. Na or ambulance. Into Omo say, 136, why you should have put it to a vote? No. They will have called for division. And division, it takes time. You're walking through the aisle and all of that. It will have given our colleagues on the other side enough time to wheel him in, to wheel the Honorable Kojokum in, either on wheelchair or stretcher. And that would have given them 137.
137.
Unless, say, we were ready to raise objection. Say, ABI, he doesn't have the sound mind and all of that. And no. Will it have been upheld? You don't know. And no doctor is around to do those checks. You know, and how will we even come across? It will be our Yari and we are being so hard on him. And all. We considered all these options. What would the same Ghanaian say? Say, we are being inhuman, we are being, this is your colleague. Yari to me to be a adentina, Muye so mean, and you're being heartless and all of that. We considered all those options. And we said, no. Look, fortunately for us, our colleagues are short of one person. Our intel shows that the Honorable Ajasafo, our dear sister, is still outside on Bambi Ghana. No matter what they do, they can't go beyond 137. Instead of going to have a fight and trying to prevent a sick person from entering the chamber to vote, and the speaker has constantly said, look, all those things that cause all those fights, the brawls and all of that, you're careful. And we all agree, look, we are all honorable members. We are parents. Our children, when you go home, our children ask questions. Yeah. My children are very critical. Daddy, what was that? Why were you people fighting? And you meet diplomats, the international community. And we all have to be conscious. Climate, if these continuous fights, fisticuffs, blows, you don't know, yes, and you don't know who is even going to take advantage.
Of course.
Because look at what is happening. Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and all of that. There's a certain cool contagion. Yeah. We don't want that. We considered all those options. I mean, people think, look, it's a chess game. And look, one day, some of us will write a book.
You write your book.
They are cost over the last 5 months, from November to this month of March. What we've gone through, the maneuvers. Look, even this sitting of Tuesday 29th was a surprise. They didn't tell us. The business statement of Friday didn't have E-levy in it for the ensuing week.
Really?
Yes. We even asked that what the E-levy, they didn't give us a date.
But the business committee is made up of members of
both
sides.
Yes. We were taken by surprise. And Kai said, this is a period that Omumba Parliament, we've had to adjourn on countless occasions because we don't have because of quorum. Yeah. At all times, we have been the majority. Then suddenly, Tuesday, all of them are present. And they were seated by 9:30. Even Tuesday. Before 10. Yes, Tuesday the 29th. Until the intel we picked over the weekend, it was clearly confirmed when we arrived in Parliament. Until when we picked the intel, Unim said some of our colleagues were even abroad. We had to fly down Honorable Ahiafo. We had to fly down Honorable Mahama Yariga. He was in Sierra Leone on an ECOWAS mission. He had to be flown down. Honorable Dr. Stoffy was doing a program at the borders to celebrate the reopening at Elubo. On the Honorable Teddy, the Ayeswano MP. We had to, yes. A big crying accident. Meaning colleagues who were scheduled for surgery. There was one of our colleagues who had even, doctor said, look, you have to go Monday. We had to curtail all of that. You can check these things.
Based on Intel. No, but my surprise is the business committee decisions cannot be made without the minority leader, for example.
Yeah, but and even if you recall, the speaker even spoke to surprises. Eka said, look, both sides should stop these surprises. More surprising here with this E-levy today. More surprising me with your walkout. I mean, I can't continue to be, presiding over a house of surprises. Until Munjai. It's been a cat and mouse chess game. Everybody wanting to catch the other by surprise. Look, people should give us some. It's not been easy to keep E-levy out for 5 good months. Now, those who are saying, we should have gone in to have that fight, what really will have that fight, what will it have achieved? We said, if eventually the fight doesn't yield results, and the speaker has warned, on tolerating these fights, criticals trying to prevent, and it's not good. I'm even sure, on humanitarian grounds, the Honorable Kojoku Mobo, Aka said, look, onka quorum no ono so nto aba. So it will have been 137, 136 because we didn't have question because of the legal machinations against him. If we had gone in, to me, that would have been a bigger backlash. The same Ghanaians, analysts, Becca said,
you knew your numbers.
You know the numbers. Why did you just walk into to be slaughtered? You just committed political suicide. People don't understand. People should give us some credit. There's been a lot of thinking going on in this, in all of these considerations. We decided, sir, the best thing is to stage a walkout. There is here 27th November. And is it? I hope I got the date right. 26th November. Sorry. Yenyanum a walk out to deny us a quorum, and so the budget was said not to be rejected. No, it is time to also adapt that same strategy. It worked for the goose; it should work for the gander. We adapted it, and we decided to stay away, and that is how come we denied them the quorum. And they say, look at all these laughable arguments. You all didn't rush out early. But even if we didn't rush out early on the second reading, how about consideration stage? How about the third reading? That cannot work. And then Anopa we now make I say honorable majority leader Chairman is supposed to say, at some point he saw some people coming back in to take their bags and to look for certain things. I mean, it is all laughable. We've caught them. They didn't expect, say, we will have thought on our feet so quickly. They thought we will also allow ourselves to just, get in and be slaughtered. They set the trap, but the trap didn't work. It didn't catch us. People should give us some credit. Yeah, meaning, sir, trust in politicians is at an all-time low. But, I mean, there is no way we will sacrifice our conscience, your legacy. And look, this matters now. We share how colleagues were angry today because they were marked absent. Chiefs, youth groups, calling them. Sometimes even internal opponents taking advantage. Say, okay, you are not to be trusted. When you're honest, next primaries, we'll deal with you. They are not matters that are light matters. Look, your political career can come to an end because of E-levy and how you conduct yourself. If it emerges, say, what could you bribe, and now you've been induced, and now compromise. So we have been very alert and been each other's keeper. And we have been very certain in our way, say, about this E-levy war, no dear. It's not a battle, it's a war. We have to be resolute, we must be united, and we must be very, very tactical. Think on our feet, and be smart about it. This was the best option available to us.
To walk out, because it came in the spur of the moment. Now, at that time, now I confirm the MP for Hunter West, not our ambulance team. Had you confirmed at that time?
Yes, Suma, we sent some agents and assigns to snoop around.
In that short period?
Earlier. And Sana said, there was a 30-minute break. And Sana speaker by for the conclusion of the debate. And it was during that break. And I checks. I mean, subsequently, because I saw a statement from Asempa saying, Omo Anya Intel said it was an empty ambulance and all of that. But we don't have cause to doubt.
What the speaker said today.
Yes, the speaker confirmed today, and then our emissaries are Omokoye Reki. We respect their, what they saw, what they believe they saw. And I will really be surprised the MPP will go that far, go all out, be ready to make sure. Because look at this E-levy, they've not been able to present it in many, many weeks, and then to decide on that day, 29th, the president's birthday, said they were determined to give the president a birthday gift. It means they had really done their homework. And in the numbers game, it was clear what was playing out before our very eyes. We have managed to keep Kwesi out through the court processes. Now, even though we don't have Adjo Safono, we can bring Kwesi. He's agreed to come in an ambulance.
We can bring
Kojo Kum in an ambulance. That gives us 137. Their number is now reduced to 136. So we would beat them 137, 136, beat them to the vote. I'm sure that in or more analysis, no, they didn't envisage say we will pull this first one. And we have done that in the national interest. And we are now going to ensure that the courts will declare what has happened wrong. It is totally unconstitutional.
But my other
there's
question,
no doubt about that.
Because you are a senior member of the House, and maybe as we conclude the interview, based on the Supreme Court decision, which clearly settles 1041, and what it entails, shouldn't the Speaker rule when presented with a situation and say, okay, you see a minority for now walking out? Clearly, 138 in the eye, based on the Supreme Court ruling, will not even proceed at all. Say, Speaker, having this knowledge, still go ahead. Declare, say, after the third reading, the E-levy has been passed. Then the Supreme Court will then have the way and says, okay, we recently ruled. Say, Parliament now are you way there, then it's a closed book, referencing to 4 versus Attorney General. No?
No, I totally disagree. And the Supreme Court would have to be mindful of the implications of that approach. It will be very damaging to the judiciary. To be very, very damaging. Because, and that takes us back to the political question doctrine. Separation of powers. Baron de Montesquieu, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and all of those thinkers. Now, all these theories existed, maybe 16th century, 17th century. Now, so no, you decided in the Justice Abdullahi case to delve into Parliament, and you even struck down
a provision in the
standing order. That is how far you went. As the Speaker called it a reckless incursion into Parliament. It was a very bold conductor the Supreme Court engaging in. Very, 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 very bold. Quite unprecedented. Omonkase Kase is a novelty. There was no precedence, no stare decisis, but they were going to do it. Now, when you have done all of that, which at that time appears to benefit one side, and you have such a golden opportunity to stay the course, maintain principle, and show that even now, though it will benefit another side, we did it based on law, on good faith. It wasn't because we were biased. It wasn't because we support another party. And you miss this opportunity. Minya, it's suicidal.
It's suicidal.
Very suicidal. I mean, I shudder to imagine the ramifications.
But how
of
about
this.
the Speaker? Why was the Speaker not guided? Say the Supreme Court has settled it. We don't him say first time, November 26th. I'm rejecting budget statement. He was criticized. How did he miss this?
Why did he? Yes.
Quorum,
exactly.
138. After the Supreme Court ruling, why did he still miss it this time around?
Look, brilliant question. And I like to be honest. I like to be truthful. I like to be sincere. Speaker Yobia, I have enormous respect for him. Ghana's foremost legislator. Osha experience our baggy. Fourth Republic on Unkwa and I started Parliament 1993 and it's still there on Unkwa. Such a stalwart. I have enormous respect for him. Apart from the fact that he's also an in-law. My good uncle-in-law. But I get the impression, sir, he has really made up his mind about these matters. And, he's somebody who it's difficult to get him to see things in, when he makes up his mind. It has an advantage. It also has a disadvantage. Honestly, in my very honest, candid view, and it doesn't take away the respect I have from him.
Of course.
I take the view, and I don't mind if this lands me in trouble. I take the view, sir. With the first instance, you can say that those were probably gray matters and all of that. There was no Supreme Court decision. But with this one, it is difficult to explain.
Yeah.
I expected, at least he could have even referenced the judgment, because this judgment has become very popular. Anytime we cite it, raise quorum and all of that. Our colleagues have been complaining, say, hey, judgment where the Asempa, black sheriff, is always in Parliament, because of this judgment. In this case, Justice Abdullah na Wababe black sheriff, So honestly, no. I know that the speaker was probably caught in a dilemma. Say, he wants to, he wants to be consistent because first time, one raised the issue of quorum. He wants to be consistent, but you see, first time, we didn't have the Justice Abdullah case. Say, we have that case.
Decided law.
Decided law. Decided. It's the authority, well established. I mean, you can't until review and I said they've changed their mind and now there's a new decision, a departure. That is the law decided. I expected, he would have, raised it. I know that some people have said, it is for MPs to raise the matter.
But you raised the Duajaho ruling in that instance.
Exactly. So I expected, honestly, because there have been instances where the speakers will say, okay, leadership, what do you think? Based on this judgment, how do you want us to proceed? We need to tread cautiously. I expected something like that, so that at least, because in any case, Ubekaya, yen work it out, he did counting to be sure that day. If you check the Hansard of 26 November, yes. I remember. It's the Hansard reflects that there was counting that had been done. I have a copy here, 26 November, Friday, page 10. The House counted as follows. Ayes, nil, noes, 137.
137.
Yes. Yeah. So there was counting that was done. How is it that this time, there was no counting? Yeah. And then he didn't also take advantage of this Supreme Court. No, look, we have to be honest and sincere and to say, with hindsight, the speaker should have done this differently. Yeah. At least he should have paid regard to the new development, the Supreme Court decision, because it's so colossal, it's so big. Yeah. Want to me ignore? Yeah. It's the elephant in the room. Yeah. It's about a changey bibia, and whether you like it. And I know, speaker doesn't agree, but you don't agree with the judgment, portions of the judgment. But that is it. That you can't, because look, it's a constitutional republic. We are not a lawless state, and you are not a jungle. Once that is the law,
that's the law.
That's the law. You follow it. you have no other option. Minia no crenody that aspect. With all due respect, the speaker knows I have enormous respect. I revere him to the high heavens, but I'm also noted to speak my mind freely, and I do it, in good faith and with a lot of respect. I agree with those who say Anka or raise matano should have drawn attention. But having said that, I do not think that the speaker's conduct
will damage your case.
It will damage our case, and now that changes the position of the law, the settled law on this matter. I do not think so at all.
Okay. Abdul Malik Kwekubako says, on December 22nd, 2015, Speaker Bagman, then the majority leader, backed Speaker Duajaho's position on quorum relative to Article 1041, which was only reaffirmed by the 9th March 2022 Supreme Court judgment.
Absolutely.
It's in line with what we're saying. But
absolutely.
Ask him if some of the proposed amendments to the E-levy bill stood in the names of some minority MPs. And if so, what was the rationale for that, especially in view of their intractable opposition to the bill in principle? Sorry.
Ekosiisen On Asempa.
Again, I have heard this, and I want to give Uncle Kwekuno Sunday. Because one of the things that I almost forgot to address because I've seen it being bandied around. So almost say, oh, they made amendments. It means they were for it. They just wanted an improved E-levy. Meaning a propaganda. I hold in my hands here report of the Finance Committee on the Electronic Transfer Levy Bill 2021.
Yes.
Meaning what kind of report where I'll leave a copy with you. You can read to your listeners. At every turn of the way, even on the matter of urgency, that the bill should be worked on under certificate of urgency, we put it to a vote. And page 2 of the report, it said, after the clerk collected the vote, the result of the division was duly declared by the chairman as follows. Number of members voting for the ayes, that the bill is of an urgent nature, 12. Number of members voting for the noes, that the bill is not of an urgent nature, 12. That is the NDC caucus, 12. We voted. The chairman then gave a casting vote for the ayes. Because you're standing order. So I think it's order 2115. Chairman do not have the original vote. They only have a casting vote. All 12 of us voted against. Say, it's not urgent. We don't see any urgency about this. Why you want to rush and impose hardship on the people? And then urgency, to kill the people quick. We don't support it. And our members at the Finance Committee did a yeoman's job. Meanwhile, if you come to the last page of this report, and that's the critical one for every committee report, recommendation and conclusion, page 11, item number 8.0, or say, the entire 12 members of the minority caucus on the committee declined recommending this to the House for passage. Declined recommending this to the House for passage. Emphasis mine. However, the committee, by a majority decision, recommends to the House to adopt this report and pass the Electronic Transfer Levy Bill 2021 into law, subject to the amendments proposed in accordance with Article 106.13 of the 1992 Constitution and Order 119 of the Standing Orders of the House. Respectfully submitted, signed, Honorable Kweku Kwatin, Chairman, Finance Committee, Mrs. Joanna A.S.A.J., Clerk, Finance Committee, dated 20th December 2021. Honor, we can give him a copy to perusing. At all times. Now, those amendments and all, it was again part of our strategy. Say, let's list as many amendments as possible, so that if we are going to stay, those amendments behind we hear votes. We will insist on a vote. So you must have 1381, hoping say at some point, we will not even have the quorum. And it was just part of our strategy. But if you read the committee's reports, we voted against the bill. Say we don't recommend it for passage. That is where you determine whether Anka, if we recommend it, Anka, it will have come to the House by consensus. By
consensus.
Please, that is all propaganda out there.
And at the plenary, the amendment at the plenary. At the time you had staged the walkout.
Yes.
When the amendment at the plenary was being done.
Yes, we were not part of it.
The Hansa doesn't capture any amendment from any minority member.
No.
The Hansa doesn't.
No, it will not. We're not there. We're not part of it. And the House didn't even have a quorum to be making those amendments, because those are decisions of the House. There's no quorum. You don't have a quorum to be effecting those amendments. It's just a travesty. It's just a charade. It's a sham. It's a total nullity. It's bogus. Whether president has rushed to sign or on himself, is premature ejaculation, to quote Uncle Abdul Malik Kwekubako. It's a very premature ejaculation. And this rush to impose hardship on the people, who will be there? I mean, one would have thought that a government that proposed moving from taxation to production would rather be rushing into more production, into more industrialization, not rushing to impose taxes and to assent to it.
There is a message here, Sami, and finally we are now here. Because Honorable Clemens Agboja Abba Studio, we want to spend time on the roads debate.
Yes. He's a professor of roads. You got the right resource person.
Well, so for weeks, Honorable Ablakwa went to town providing explanations on why Joe Wise could not vote. He pulled every explanation in his heart to justify his claims. In the end, the Supreme Court ruled against his position and that of his party. After the ruling, Honorable Ablakwa and his party went to town, some of them attacking the integrity of the court. Today, the same man and his colleagues, Honorable Idrisu and Mahama Yariga, are on their way to the very Supreme Court, some of them bastardized. Very, very interesting. And Unim said that commentary in where Koso said, na party adebia mo sorry and a court I say you hear reforms in our court. Munya Asempa are the same court na moko omuenim.
Oh yeah, why not? Because one court then the church say you want to be anarchical, hit the streets, and stage a coup, and go on a destructive path. There be we are consummate democrat who believe in rule of law. Even though you have concerns, you have issues, you still go there. I mean, saying said we need reforms. We matters should be done in a way that will not appear to be biased or lopsided and all of that. Are legitimate concerns. Look, both parties. There are times that there have been decisions of the courts that both parties have agreed strongly in our history. Right from the Nkrumah era, strong. Look, there was even a president in our history who said, no court. The famous no court, who tell us what to do. Apollo, 656 and all of those. We've had in our history a plethora. But it doesn't mean we should be commended, sir. Despite all of that, we have not taken the law into our hands. The NDC, the D in our NDC, which stands for democratic. We are truly democratic. We believe in the rule of law. Until we are not anarchical. Yenye chaotic. Yen kase okay because we feel we've been hard done by in recent times. We are not going to go back to that forum. I mean, and that's okay.
But the democratic imposes that duty on you, sir. Once you decide to go to that forum, then you should be prepared for either a win or a lose, and that you accept a lose in good faith.
Absolutely,
it doesn't seem that you accept that lose in good faith.
Accepting a loss in good faith doesn't mean won't mean criticize it. Even the judges themselves, they say it always that they expect their judgment to be criticized or critiqued. Even within the judicial system, we have a criticism architecture. And what is that architecture?
The
appellate process. Until you can always appeal. You can always go higher. You can always go for a review and all of that. And sometimes, when you have appealed, sometimes even the judges have had cause to criticize their own colleagues. Sometimes at the lower courts, say, hey, what was going on? What kind of law is that? And all of that. Until even the judges criticize each other. That really shouldn't be the issue. And then this point say, look, on the Justice Abdullahi case, Yankai said it resolved a number of issues, not only one matter. Resolved Article 102, resolved Article 104. And then the vexed issue of whether those presiding can vote. It is on the matter of those presiding voting. That's me. I have spoken about, and then I know our former president too, on that specific matter. As for Article 104, the interpretation of Modemano, I haven't questioned it. It's so clear. I know there is trite. It is unambiguous. There's no haziness about it. But a person presiding, and then this claim say, when you are presiding and you don't vote, you deny your constituents opportunity. That's why I've had it, because I've said there are several provisions in the Constitution and understanding orders where people preside cannot vote. For example, if you are presiding, I just told you, couldn't vote. He didn't have an original vote. Does that mean that that provision of the standing order must be taken out? We should article standing order 2115. Say the chairman shall not have an original vote, but in the event of an equality of votes, he shall give a casting vote. Into chairman of committees, only they have an opportunity only when there is a tie. If there is no tie, they are not voting. Does that mean their constituency?
Is it not because
and then read our
chairman of committee represent the speaker, and in line with the spirit of Muamu, say speakers cannot vote. The chairman can also not have an original
in that same spirit, that same logic, the deputy speakers, don't they represent the speaker? When they are presiding, don't they represent the speaker? Yes, when they are presiding, don't they?
But they are also MPs. That's why a chairman MP has a casting vote. In the other, there was a certain right to vote because he's an MP. You get it?
But if you are saying that all those presiding should have votes, and we shouldn't deny their constituents.
Yes.
How is it that in some instances they don't have an original vote?
Original vote.
Yes. And then there are other provisions in this constitution, where, for example, matters of conflict of interest, say, the MPs, MPs are not allowed to vote. And universal. You see that as for that particular decision,
you still have issues.
Especially how they are even going to vote when there's a voice vote. We do a lot of voice voting in Parliament. Until we presided as Deputy Speaker, voice vote time, the ayes. Now you shout aye in the mic.
But voice votes are not compulsory, are they?
Voice vote.
They are not.
Actually, if you go to our standing orders, no vote is compulsory.
Yes.
Even secret voting crying here compulsory.
Absolutely.
And head count too. You can decide. Say won't participate. But you see how charge matters hang Parliament and all of that. He shouts aye, then after he says the ayes have it. I still think it's quite untidy and almost absurd in some regard. That is on that specific issue of the Deputy Speaker's voting. But there are other portions of the judgment which I have said long ago, even before we went to the court. To me, it's very sound. It looks, very profound, is erudite, and it's convincing to me.
So my men say, and so Supreme Court the man would date for more application or
Debbie, hearing date,
but
filing has been done. All the parties have been served. It is so far as we are concerned. We are using Dr. Yeni's chambers into the Dr. Yeni and Feli, the Ayeni and Feli into Dr. Yeni, Minua Ediju, Kujo Tameklo, our lead lawyers, and I have enormous confidence in them. Great lawyers.
Very well. And let's see how it goes. Why? We appreciate your time so much. And you better one common. I mean, himself we're interested in the roads debate.
Yes. Oh, once the professor is here, he should. The only thing I'll add is it looks like we should be giving our president more credit than we do, because even Biden's infrastructure plan was not this fabulous.
Anyways, that's it. Honorable Clemens Agbeja Tanasi share him say the Honorable Sylvester Tete will join us in studio. Now, we get into that debate on the roads, because the Roads and Highways Ministry in Sway issue another statement. This time the statement seems to portray maybe the president's figure is right, and that what the roads minister presented to Parliament in February this year, which captured roads done between 2017 and May 2021, they say between May 2021 and now, some roads have been done. And that's we'll get into all those figures and calculations some more after this short break, and then that conversation will continue. Stay with us. But it's here.
Ensuo mankwa, ensuo yenkwa. Nom awake purified drinking water. Abudun swa eye krojin. Ensuo ne ma wahode de tena ho abribia. Kai say awake bottle ba ku bi a wo beto no. Ye yi sika kakra de kon National Cardiothoracic Center. Awake purified drinking water. One for life.
For bulk purchase, contact 0262 351 251.
FD ahwehwe sajade nka to ma jatum say.
Asempa bi aba. Upesika akostati ejuma bi. Uhia bosia atre odwadie mu. Woye government ana private worker uhia sika de ate hot bi so. Woye busumi ejuma uhia scan tempa bi so. Any na quick credit be ma obusia mo etua ne kakra. Eye collateral free loan na susu savings account opening ni deposit biara nim. De hia ne se wo ye Ghana ni na wo Ghana card. Se wanye adwuma afi we mu de kodia na wo na wo pe o excuse biara nim. For quick credit it was 0302 200 390 and 0596 920-833. Number for Biara Frewa and quick credit. Shannon so say quick credit and malone ewo internet so. Inti Shanna Obiara and Dadao. Bank of Ghana am momu dedi ho kwan na kai say in share da ho.
Quick credit. Lending made simple.
Bembe netie mie so wo obi a wodwunso ntente manager anansa wo bemba mu ta hwehwew wo chimu ansa na wodwunso so a na mu achemienu se wo bemba so ate ana empaso agudie na kofom nti wontime nyinse wo yire dia ene Access Clinic and Prostate Center ene ye wo last stop efi se Access Clinic and Prostate Center die yenni madwuma ememma ho odinti ene ye bae Access Clinic and Prostate Center ene Nema Police Station ene dinhwe animo ewo Maslot Hotel and the Youngsters International School Finfin Honwa Freyen and was 024-025-7333 and 020-352-2579. Access Clinic and Prostate Center. Beme Bia and Nidaswanono.
It's new, it's fresh, and more entertaining. Asempa Showbiz Reviews.
We're about to take it back. You're rocking with the best.
You've been come up with your favorite celebrity.
Beautiful Yvonne, how are you?
We made a lot of money back in the day.
We haven't had a real global artist from Ghana, apart from Osibisa.
Panel discussion.
Netflix to put your movie on their platform. If you can't match, you won't be there.
But don't forget, sounds will bet me a call into the show. No watch your wajane. Name kai. So by joining our various social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and the Kikahu. Asempa 94.7 FM. This and every Saturday, 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Asempa 94.7 FM. Here for your rejuvenated and refreshing weekend entertainment program. Asempa Showbiz Review. Don't miss it. Asempa Showbiz Review.
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM.
Get digi with it. 924#. Get digi with it. 924#. On your mark, ready, set, let's go. CV, G Mobile, USSD, Young Code, star 924#. Punk the go. Smartphone no, young phone no, ever fire money transfer. For 3 water bill, for 3 light bill. Factor credit, star 924#. You deserve it. Let's go. Get digi with it. 924#. Get digi with it. 924#.
CBG is empowering you to get digi with CBG Mobile. Simply dial star 924# and get digi with it.
CBG, we stand with you.
Fifi like kumakanya tax. Ayun sa kumaba ho tax la fisha fi kenala. La bobwe.
Nyata fe manato. Ahavala bobwe azon. Fifi ya magadaga nana kang bayata ye matengu hiyo. Amolegbe mazozo. Anwa chiazo.
Kakonya tax ya pa nyako.
Eh afi magaglo na be makana tax solo.
Jifa nyada di tang nyana kakagohan.
Dadi magatangu. Tax yo mi khana. Ye jiruru asana dzana mi apa shoro nye. Gatona to koharo.
Oh, nyamanyolo. Doko khona mapanka kabli bakata.
Dana ba yeyi na GRA dopa.
Afi manyanu ye jimo. Fakbara nyanchi. Tas maka nyama. Anu vai ho.
Ka wo tax le online. Le gajarupa alo le wo fumji. Le deka wo ma. Nyata tuduko wa yingo.
Ago! Why no?
Oh, me o akosua nie.
Hey, akosua bram.
Hey, Joe, na den na wo dan ho nyina yesum ka bisi na dan mahwe TV ne susu yi na fridge susu na ya adwuma de na
ye wano pasem.
Wo ya illegal connections wa ho. ECG wo mat task force security agencies eka ho ya wo mo eboa se na ebe ya ne ye boni sei ye betumi etu a. Bra etia sa na ye boni nyina e wo ho no mo ase ensa so mu a ye do ba kogina court ne atwe aso.
Hey, sa mom na tie.
Illegal connections emwa ECG mo mo nsanka eto a wo so mo nsaka. Illegal connections emwa emiye nya enyinama hoden trodo. Illegal connections ebetimi meja atoto afie ne nnwuma awodo mu ene betimi nso ama light ibi ekiki nkrofo de bia.
Me show boss efiti na akui meja me ne ye bone a me ye hu. Se wo so bi enam kwan bone so de enyinam kanea edi dwuma frɛ 0551 444 011 na eka biara di bobo sa nipa ko no ahamu nchichemu ensia ebeye wo dia. Moma ye nyina nya oman bapa na yensi illegal connections ano.
Miminde bia 12:30 shamini adorable ladies abra ye kan abudiemu nsem on and off the pitch in a feminine way. Say food and attraction. A ladies time Asempa 94.7 FM.
Sportsman now uye coach dear. Look sporty. Suits at show concert dear. Better than USA for Osei. I've always admired one person in football, David Beckham. Ibanu Ajiman Bedu. Minim so I was so to me the butter or attacking will be okay and mouth as a cooking in the pants and a robe is but I said some Colombian as a mumpet your master to show in your penny. The dance was
Kayo, some in the beer, 12:30 a ladies' time on Asempa 94.7. It will be sweeter than sweet. Mavis Amano, Femi Fire
Franco Trading Enterprise still phone Papa Fie Samsung nie Nokia nie iPhone nie say your printers or mobile phone accessories Franco Trading Enterprise one TV I the satellite and the ultra panel abomuma
Facebook Sauko Franco Trading Enterprise page nasa likes number 100,000 ayomwa eni omuniga sasu na www.francotrading.com Android app Franco Trading Instagram at Franco Trading na nipa body for dosunti Franco edi momo pay code number 189480
your branches on the bebre wagana baby nemum head office on the Twaya Dabraka opposite Roxy Cinema
Tema Franco Community 1 one water works ne dia nimre cycle opposite Odor Rise Madina 100 meters away from the police station Kaswa Franco opposite Kaswa Polyclinic
and our prayer number is 0246 422 338 and 0546 133 188 Franco Trading Enterprise still phone Papa Fie and you're not going
Tyler Jumayefo biara awon ne say openye ni tile cement humfa so the same thing na tilers any adansi account for Weber tile cement abrabia onim say Weber tile cement ekita global standard na ejumeko Weber Ghana na eye wo oman yi onim say Weber tile cement yesronko chemicals ni awon ni no ewo munti ye won ye ni su a wo de be ka afra ye cement fufuru bia bio onim say Weber tile cement achi eche na emu so twetan enti eba no edan ho ana abonten so tile ndia Weber tile cement edanso na ne bo so nya den kra ye total no ye ni ato ne prekopedia na ye Weber tile cement ye baby ceramica interstyle ceramic Esojaman Skyview Marti Atala Tagore Koforidia Cantamanto Freying 055 648 6342
Weber, we care.
Ohima, afidie, many church review.
Aden when you see kapodu bi ana.
Share, Bell Chillin win promo. Me Bell Cola, Puka, and a Tamarinda at Chillino. Na me cruise you o me kia picanto e mono chiao no.
Sessing.
Bell Beverage say, a Brabia Roberto, favorite Bell Beverage, say a squeeze, Bell Aqua Active, Big Boss, Bell Breeze, Bell Malt, and the Kekaho. Ye washes with the entire hono bay 20. Fashion envelope move out D and O contact Asempa Bell Beverages Depot, and I will distribute this our more memoir fanabe beer. And no one, Ubet me ya kwenye dia chedi P. Ebiti say TV, fridge, and a demo near Mabibria whooping. Ubet means when ya cradia, would be quaco dija, and a Bell product watch at the Bibri. Na me kesia pano, a kia picanto, ebono chiao, our Bell Chill and win monthly raffle draw you move.
Hey, and your Bell Beverages dear boss.
For 0544 335 800 and 0544 335 900. Najahum YP and DH our social media at Bell Beverages. I think so Bell Beverages our Jumia Ghana so FDA Ajigedi Kratoi Atom.
Mama tell me master's degree program Ekano online.
Maybe me investment account so ma me first kakakra ngumu. Me dem.
Hey, Oba, na se we dia obosu mi sika ni nyina asan.
Oh, me okay kra. Me wabosu mi aketi afufro bio.
Osei.
EcoBank double salary promo idie. Every na dey ko do 31st March 2022. Your customers bosu mi akwati ani nyina award no. Ye mo hu mienu e ma wenfa akọ ho kra o. Nya be ya ne se, ubebie EcoBank salary account. Anasa obeji waketia afa EcoBank na nya mo hu mienu emre yem. Fa bosu mi akwatia no efa EcoBank ene yia. Fra EcoBank se sia ya nje o hwe. E wo 0800003225. Ana email yen wo ecobankenquiries@ecobank.com.
Na den one can be bisa. Me yi me salary account ako EcoBank CCA.
Any oba, they come me huntem. Now be saying ya free life insurance. Any ni oma bebre wa account no so.
And to check a crowd who Sakra de National Lottery Authority for Caritas platform no and HSO. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Abnenie, Mami okuta chirme postronko.
I've been blessed with 3 beautiful daughters.
We seen bose, obetutu ne mama mi enseni na abrabo. Manesi si ye wo bibiare mu.
If you want to live in poverty without making something of yourself, you can do that. But I will not allow you drag your sisters with you. Never.
Chodoa emu ohye, oyechre ne akomatie wo eno sinikaya Showmax ede abenimu. Sign it up. Na hwe eno wo showmax.com. Na wonso sepe wo hu bi. Mu hia enhihye bia o. Timi etwem ebribia wope
Asempa bia ba upesika akostati ejuma bi ohia bosia atre wodwadie mu woye government ana private worker ohia sika de ate hot bi so woye busumi ejuma ohia scan tempa bi so eni na quick credit be ma obosia mo atwa ne kakra eye collateral free loan na susu savings account opening deposit BRNim de hia ne se woye Ghana ni na wo Ghana card se wanye adwuma afi we mu de kodia na wo na wo pe o excuse BRNim for quick credit it was 0302 200 390 and 0596 920-833. Number for Biara Frewa enya quick credit. Shenen so say quick credit and loan ewo internet so. Inti shena obiara ndada. Bank of Ghana amomu dwede ho kwan na kaise nhyehyɛ da ho.
Quick credit. Lending made simple.
Hey, you're the up and coming landlord. Who died yesterday with you?
Kwame, I didn't mean you. I can roofing and a ceiling. Now, my contract announced to say, Nefeni na and Quadan Rocksters. One so chromo pan, what Jane was saying.
The contract and one Nimniako, Ghana had here a band of quality metal trusses, roofing sheets, plasterboard, and a POP ceiling there. Aye, Rocksters. And fear be brain in a Rocksters. I did roofing sheet, Papa, and Wakadia, Asempa Ghana for.
And can I say, Animal dear in so a boy?
And near the Fudiachi, Nankotati born in net Sundachi. Fred 0544 338041. Say a metal trusses, roofing sheet, plasterboard, and a POP ceiling there. Fred Rocksters, now one chowing to me.
It's new, it's fresh, and more entertaining. Asempa Showbiz Review.
Asempa FM.
We're about to take it back. You're rocking with the best. You better come up with your favorite celebrity.
Beautiful Yvonne, how are you?
We made a lot of money back in the day.
We haven't had a real global artist from Ghana, apart from Osei.
Panel discussion.
Netflix to put your movie on their platform. If you can't match, you won't be there.
But don't forget, sounds will me a call into the show. No what share wajene. Name kai. So by joining our various social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and the account. Asempa 94.7 FM. This and every Saturday, 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Asempa 94.7 FM. Near for your rejuvenated and refreshing weekend entertainment program. Asempa Showbiz Review. Yeah, family, don't miss it. Asempa Showbiz Review. I need your
Mama, tell me master's degree program Ekano online. Maybe me investment accounts so mama first kakakra ngumu. Me dem.
Hey, Oba, na se we dia obosu mi sika ni nyina asan.
Oh, me okay kra. Me wabosu mi aketi afufro bio.
Osei.
EcoBank double salary promo idie. Every na de kodu 31st March 2022. Your customers boost me akwati ani nyina award no. Ye mo hu mienu e ma wenfa akọ ho kra o. Nya be ya ne se, ubebie EcoBank salary account. Anasa obeji waketia afa EcoBank na nya mo hu mienu emre yem. Fa boost me akwatia no efa EcoBank ene yia. Fra EcoBank se sia ya nje wo hwe. E wo 0800 003225. Ana email yen wo ecobankenquiries@ecobank.com.
Na den one can be bisa. Me salary account ako EcoBank sisia.
Any oba, they come me home term. Now be saying your free life insurance. Any your baby wa account.
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM. National Lottery Authority for Caritas platform no and HSO. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Asempa, 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 Tune radio, 94.7. Asempa FM. Oh yeah, do papa. Asempa FM. Everywhere you are. Asempa FM. Everywhere you go. Asempa, hey. Asempa, hey. All talk all day.
94.7 Asempa FM Sony all talk all day. Ekosiisen Jumedi no asugusu awutie no. Some 14 minutes after 5. Yebedi nkomo said the American akana enra omampanyin the State of the Nation's address ekokotudra ewo Parliament. Now in that address no okay the records in the road sector. Na the nkomo bebre na aba. And because of the number of kilometers of new roads are now Osei waye. And I'm so any roads and highways ministry at the statement about. And we want to delve a bit more into that issue.
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM.
Parliament and so there is a committee responsible for transport, roads and highways. Now committee ranking member Honorable Kwame Agboja Ababe Kansa e studio ha. Ye share name say Honorable Sylvester Tete. And so Babe Cancer na fe yetumi edi enkomo. In the answer member Honorable Kwame Agboja Akwaba no. Let me read some few messages from the earlier conversation. So Obi, please ask Honorable Samuel Okudzeto if the Supreme Court now has the mandate or the right to interpret how the Parliament should go about their own proceedings in the House. Godfred Adoa, all the way from Bronx in New York. This one says, Obi, good afternoon. I think if the NDC goes ahead to file the matter in the Supreme Court, they will do no good to the Speaker of Parliament because the matter had already been ruled upon. Therefore, the Speaker will be cited for contempt of the Supreme Court, really. Nipano amfani din ankaho. We say it's unfortunate those disputing the president's claim of constructing over 10,000 kilometers of road to doing so by comparing the distance from Ghana to China, which is around the same distance. What they fail to add, whether out of ignorance or just being deliberate and mischievous, is that Ghana has an estimated 67,291 kilometers of road network. It won't hurt if we update knowledge on what we seem to have little or no knowledge about. Otherwise, we become subject of ridicule in our attempt to fall for everything. Hashtag Year of Roads. Ohineba Elijah, the pork choppers in Takrade. And or the way are praying. We say, Obipa, where else could the NDC go other than the court? Have you so soon forgotten General Mosquito's statement that any blah 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 can go to court? Dr. Dakwa is in Washington, D.C. We say, Obi, good day. What is the sense in making all these sacrifices, flying members from abroad, some members forfeiting surgeries, boycotting programs, etc., and eventually walking out of the chamber at that crucial moment? Okudzeto Ablakwa should credit listeners with some intelligence. Guy Soko is in Adeso. Guy Soko, thank you. We say, Honorable Kweku Bakon's, okay, so Kweku Bakon's question was simple. Did any of the amendments stand in the name of some NDC members? Simple yes or no answer, please. Honorable Ablakwa, we free. Honorable Sampine, Mayor of Kumasi, and Oduwe Abraying. We say Obi, Please, the overall effect of the Assent North Court of Appeal ruling is that no election ever took place at Assent North. The implication is that the quorum for Parliament per 1041 is 137 and not 138. Therefore, if the majority caucus is able to mobilize 137 at any time, then they can take a binding decision. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. Let's see the defense, the statement of defense in opposition to what the plaintiffs will file at the Supreme Court. Obi, good afternoon. I've never doubted the commitment and dedication of our honorable minority members in the minority caucus. The wise decision they took on Tuesday is a recipe that will determine the neutrality of the apex court. We are just testing the implementation of their own ruling. Ghanaians are quiet and observing the outcome of the court proceedings. If the court will backtrack on their earlier ruling to satisfy the ruling government has been perceived by many Ghanaians, we all can conclude and have a conviction of our Supreme Court. God bless our 137 minority MPs. Richard Kirk Mensah, a regional communications officer for the NDC in the Western region. Obi, kindly ask Honorable Ablakwa this question. Since the Assent North MP had been banned from presenting himself as an MP, does the number of MPs not become 274 until he wins his appeal? And that then makes a quorum 136.5, which will round up to 137, or Eugene Shen Elliott would want to know. Unfortunately, I saw this question a bit late into Yentime Musa Honorable, but he's listening. Into if anything, I think. But wow. And ranking member on the roads, say a transport, roads and highways.
Yeah, roads and transport.
Oh, a roads and transport committee.
Yes.
Okay. And what chairman,
Honorable, the respected Honorable Kennedy Osei.
Oh, Kennedy Osei Nyako.
A very good friend of mine.
Yeah. Okay. In the end, the roads debate is back on the front burner. And there was a yetimi edomwe soko na yeshe the nyoma AC echo. The president put out some figures. The Roads and Highways Ministry, and so the statement about. But even before that, Nana would throw in some, spokes be in their wheels actually. In some president they can also share not a. But Baba Bibusa say, what is your issue with the 10,000 plus kilometers number president? But before that, I need to share this information with our listeners now. So me pamochel adofonum say who tie me Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games baso e Birmingham in the UK. And yeah, ma kwina nso etimi akọ hwebi. The wasa wo ye and say apart from the Commonwealth Games, yes, they are planning a tour of London this year 2022. Africa Origin Travels and Sport Tourism and AD Sejumi. Now almost say with the branded are just 5,000 Ghana cedis and secure your visa and holiday in the UK. Package includes your visa application support, your visa fee, your UK visa scan fee, the accommodation in London and Birmingham, travel insurance, breakfast, transportation in and out of the airport, games ticket, a return flight ticket, tourism to Birmingham and London sites. Deadline to secure these packages and your visa is 20th May. In the one by 20th May. Note that you have to secure your package with 5,000 Ghana cedis and get your visa granted. Client can choose to buy the flight ticket from our office or outside our office. Me pacho, so you're interested Fre number CCC 0544 347 001 0544 347 001 and 0544 347 002. Your North Ridge opposite the Switzerland Embassy in the Oko North Ridge African Origin Travel and Sport Tourism. Now Birmingham Commonwealth Games the yemfa wonko na wonso faso na kokoji weni. Enya no nko Beverage is the Bell Chill and Win promo about your Kenny. say uto a bottle of your favorite Bell Beverage product. Your Tamarinda, your Bell Cola, Puka, Big Boss, Squeeze, Breeze, Bell Malt, and more. Uto bottle ni bia why label ne bohono. Say utimi top bottles be 20, why labels in labels 20 fashion envelope mo. Na fa call any Bell Beverage depot and as accredited distributor ne jawo. And you stand a chance of winning fantastic prizes, I tell you. In the Bell Chill and Win monthly draws. We would announce it on TV, on radio, and then on social media. Prizes, your home furniture set, your appliances, your hampers of Bell product, your shopping vouchers, the grand prize of a Kia Picanto in the final raffle draw. And the more envelopes you drop, the more your chances of winning. Envelope, Biana, it was 20 labels, and a shame. You know. And me pamucha officer wo team nsem wa frɛ number 0544 335 800 and that's 0544 335 900. Terms and conditions apply. Kaise Bell mixes are now available on Jumia Ghana. Bell Beverages, refreshing the nation, and advert with FDA Ankasa Etumi Aje Atum in the Munshan and so emfa Kobe Stone. Se bibi ekoye Kobe Stone. Wow. Go TV so say born so from 89 cities to 69 Ghana cities. Auto Go TV I am relatable African content on Aquaba Magic Rock, GH and Trace Jama plus various kids channels, sport and movies. 69 Ghana and then a deadline for this promotion. Ya teso after any HM na 89 ya teso about 69 Ghana. Go TV in DSTV so say from 169 to 129 Ghana. Utria 129 cities are Yamau Zappa decoder, Deskit plus 1 month of DSTV access subscription. In year 129 instead of the old price of 169. 31st March, ena offer eba awie in the court nekokaje DSTV feel every moment. Munshan and so emfa emaye. Honorable Kwame Agoja. First question is will issue with president announcement no any what's the issue?
Yo minia meda say na me chia for ni nyina de wo adakluni bibia meda nyame asese menya opportunity ene say metumi appear on this wonderful and big platform say na betumi as a country to do a nyama etumi peja your country and enye idea to undermine ourselves. It's just to correct ourselves and get better. Obi at somebody say the largest number of questions put to a minister by colleague members of parliament is to the road minister.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
And I always say he is the most diligent in terms of coming to parliament to respond to questions put by colleagues. By far, I mean, some ministers hardly would come. You heard me complaining about the finance minister the other time, who would hardly come and answer questions. So the road minister is outstanding in terms of commitment to answering questions. So he has provided a plethora of data already in different forms to Parliament. The size of our road network is known. As a ranking member, I know every 10 years or so, we do what we call inventory taking, which is to go around the country to see, in the past, somebody's farm was just a farm. But since then, nipa bebre a dying war until now it's almost a community. So they take inventory of all those things to determine the size of road network. So until that is what determines what we call the 78,000 kilometers of road we have right now. It doesn't mean those roads are even motorable necessarily. It just means that it's part of the stock of roads we have. As we speak, they've done another inventory going through say now to just get the data right, and that is why you saw in that letter that some 94,000. It's normal. The last one, President Kufuor did one, and then we did one, which brought it to this. But since then, we've been doing projections. The main issue is this: that it is also true. Say, aban bia anywhere obetumi aka say even if they spent 1 year road bia every government does some and there's every evidence to prove say under this government too no they are doing some road work. After all, being a ranking member of the road committee, I've supported the commercial agreement to do roads, whether it's Bolga Polmaku road, whether it's a bridge here and other things. We've been doing that. So we have record of what government have been doing, at least through commercial agreement. And we have data on what government have been doing in terms of GOG funded projects and others. It may not be an accurate, a perfect figure, but roughly we know what it is. And the only time we get the accurate figure is when the minister or presentee a document data. Recently, I think May 2021. That's that's the last meet the press. The minister and in that press interaction, he took time to explain a lot of things. That documenter will capture almost every road intervention we're doing. It was that day now. Oka say they are projecting to do 6,000 kilometers of road over a period of time. And Wama details of what they were doing, the number of bridges and where the bridges were going to be. For instance, Equino from Independence Square all the way to the beach road. That was all part of a CDB loan in the past, which was capped. President Mills capped it because we couldn't draw down the 3 billion, if you remember. And then the new government came and started a new part of it. So under that same agreement, we are doing Accra Intelligent Traffic Agreement and then all that. So you'll see some interchanges along that route. So there's evidence that we can see something happening. Where we have problem is this: when the president came to the house as the constitution require, that day, I must say that in recent time, interestingly, that became one of the most peaceful day in Parliament. If you notice, I didn't even hear one heckling on. I mean, they just shared jokes and other things peacefully, and I think Ghanaians were happy that nobody provoked anybody, so that we can get on and do our work. And we patted ourselves in the back. However, he mentioned certain figures that we needed to interrogate. Already the State of the Nation, as the president presented on page 15, and then he if you start that particular, he said some 10,875 kilometers of new roads have been constructed in these 5 years. 5 years. The emphasis is constructed 10,800 new roads. So we took up issues because a friend was saying, the budget statement from 2017 till date, the amount of money set aside by the road ministry to do roads are, for instance, last year, the amount of money in the budget to do road was just about 1.2 billion Ghana cedi. If you add the road fund and other things, it's peanut. But if you take another background, you realize that, for instance, Cocoa Board alone have awarded project to almost 15 billion Ghana cedis. Okay. A quarter of that has not even been done or paid for. Wow. The Sino Hydro Kanwa, $664 million. Changing to 8 cities today. The town roads, the critical road Kanwa, we are approaching 40 billion cedis worth of roads. Yenim say that was the basis of what the minister presented as the stock of 11,101 kilometers of road programs, out of which he said, Omo program said they are going to try to complete 6,000. And I mean, you have a bizarre question. Out of the commenter, Minister Ameki said, we have constructed 4,200 kilometers. So, me and Miano, pushing minister say, provide data on your 4,200 kilometers of road. And the minister being diligent with Parliament, presented this document. The document. This document was presented in February. February this year. But it is dated 2017 and May. May 2021. Exactly. And Obia say, at least, say, who data on things that have been done till February. Now, Obia Bissau say, what have you done from 2017 today? So, you sure say, why you be significant from mayor, you don't present this one. You could have presented because opportunity from hindsight from May 2021. But he presented this. The third page of the document, the breakdown of what they did is there. For instance, Osei asphaltic overlay 1,463 kilometers. The fact is that today, if you go and check the stock of Adia Amuya, Abia, it will be more than 1,463. Why? Because we see asphaltic overlay going on almost all the time, at least in Accra, Kumasi, and some places. So this figure cannot be static. It would have improved. But I don't expect that to be 500 extra kilometers because it takes some time to do everything. Construction. This is probably actually a choir, fresh.
Construction here, new road.
That is what the understanding that this is new. That is not like because classify BBA construction only 68.5 kilometers. And you call graveling and regraveling. So it is clear that a new road is a new road. Partial reconstruction 139.41 kilometers. Reconstruction 90.4 kilometers. Rehabilitation 837.27 kilometers. Resealing 86.20 kilometers. Spot improvement 139.57 kilometers. Upgrading 482.83 kilometers. Udini na kabumwa 4,263 kilometers 72. And this information, he says, is up to
May 2021.
And a friend is saying, Coco Road project no encount. And we understand that because the comprehensive stock of road project he's already given us that data. Join his meet the press. And the Coco Road on page no.
Asempa FM. Asempa
FM. Say enye idea secret ma obia. We can see say they are talking about about 4,800 kilometers, which is costing the almost 15 billion Ghana cedi we talking
to Cocoa Board.
To Cocoa Board.
Into Cocoa Roads no.
Yes.
And also no sa 4,000 something kilometers no.
Encount.
Is it the EFI 2017 Eba?
Cocoa Road. Cocoa Board roads.
Yes.
Omo inherited Cocoa Road be free NDC. You remember say even they set up a committee to investigate whether those contracts were awarded properly. And as we speak, the agric minister say wale sa Cocoa Road audit report our parliament but me catch point blank say that document is not in parliament.
Not in parliament.
It's nobody. So over road program for the period 11,101 kilometers. Cocoa Road, critical road 2,167.2. Cocoa Road 4,853. Town Road. So we have a stock of that. So what we are saying say today, we say what constructing 10,800 kilometers of new roads are. The truth is that data be anyhow to back it. Now, if you take letter road ministry issue,
but honorable me pacho before so beto can I as a layman no? Because the data road minister the buyer now a capture between 2017 and May 2021, and now 4,600 and something kilometers of roads.
4,200
and something kilometers. And can I then add Cocoa Roads there 4,000 and something no, to say 4,000 way to say road to my constructors is 8,000 plus kilometers?
No, what you see here as projects under Cocoa Road are contracts. And yet acquire almost as the president says, we have constructed a new road. That is what the ministry is failing to do. Say, Abia, as a matter of fact, as a politician, imagine I am say, Abia, somebody's way of writing idea, President Akufo-Addo, His Excellency Eridino. They didn't write it properly. So the honorable thing to do is say, actually, we are not saying we have constructed and completed 10,800 kilometers of new road. But that is what the Ministry of Roads and Highways attempted to do with their letter. And by saying, they've written a lot of watch English be brave, and then almost the table B account on the last page, the page I mean your senior colleague Honorable Makwata assigning will see roads constructed and maintained. They are now changing the rendition. You see, because you're not talking about maintenance, and even in I think May 2021, say the ministry even issued a statement stopping the award of new contract at the urban road. And I issued a statement say it's a bad decision, because what it's going to do is to lead to more road getting bad, because the technical people know when to make the critical intervention. And you already table where they have come to say between 2017 and May 2021, which is this document that I'm talking about, they have actually accounted for the 4,263 kilometers. And then the breakdown this time round, Oman breakdown account in terms of critical road way. But when they said from June to December 2021, then they are capturing the critical roads, mainly Ghana Highway Authority, 312.74 kilometers. Cocoa Roads, 367. In other words, out of the 4,800 kilometers of Cocoa Road we're talking about, only 367 have been completed. And then if you go to town roads under Department of Feeder Road and Department of Urban Road, 122.21 kilometers. Asphalt overlay, they are saying that between June and December 2021, already 581 kilometers at the account. And like I said, so that figure of 1,400 and then na across Rokakra, that is understandable. And now donor program, we have different program. It appears say out of that only 50 kilometers have been completed. Other development partners, nothing. The biggest chunk is grading and sport improvement, 4,900 kilometers. Meaning say a grading obiate grading ase. A grading na uye for almost 5,000 kilometers. A denting na ultimately ejina parliament. Eka say we have constructed 10,800 kilometers. This is what the ministry issue in trying to defend the president. But they've made it worse. You can just see here. Grading is the largest part of even the 10,800 kilometers. But that is routine maintenance. It's routine maintenance. Like majority of roads, they are untarred. Periodically, exactly, just to make it, especially since they level it a bit, say now at least, exactly, which is a normal program of the ministry every Adam, and it is nothing new. And the president, His Excellency, and 10,800 kilometers new road contracted from. It is still a mystery to everybody. And as we speak now, the ministry is yet to provide any evidence. The only thing they can provide here, which I can see, which I thank them for, is to say, between June and then December 2021, they have done a total of 1,500 kilometers. And he said, Obibisa said, between May 2021 until is it possible for them to build over 6,000 kilometers? Your answer is in the minister's response. They did not. Rather, what they have done so far is to add what they have done in terms of grading, as is here. And meaning, grading is not something that a president at me the year campaign, even DC before that me year way. And that is how. So if you ask me, what is my concern? My concern is simply that the rendition of idea Mampenyi represent your parliament no, it is inaccurate to say the least. And I don't blame him. Now road minister, somebody gave that figure Edima Obi our Flagstaff House, because the speech writers are in Flagstaff, they are not at the ministry. And they should have people who should be able to interpret the figures and say, what does it mean? If today, I'm sure say a technocrat natural that reporter, they would never have put that rendition of we have built 10,800 kilometers of new road. They would never have done that. So two things they can do: come out and say it was a slip, and actually what we wanted to say is differently. But if the whole issue letter we here, it did not answer the question I kept asking. Did you build 10,800 kilometers of road? The answer is new. The answer is no.
It is a Mitiwe honorable, and on the face of the record, in terms of statement ministry in the issue, you actually agree with them, sir. as he presented to Parliament between 2017 and May 2021,
Ekosiisen On
4,263.
Yes.
That one is factual. It's in that.
No,
it's
no.
in that report.
Even that one, it's not to say.
And then new road.
Exactly. The new road here, no, in that page is on page 3.
And it's
68.5 kilometers. The rest is part of this, which is grading, regrading, graveling, and other things.
Okay.
So it is not even an
new road.
The last paragraph, he said the 10,800 kilometers of roads constructed have been on both paved and unpaved
roads.
And then, but before then, no, just below, then he gave a breakdown of what that breakdown is, and he talks about it. And the bulk of the 10,875 is what 4,910 of grading. This is where the problem is. You see, we need to be careful. Say, the discussion about the road to make it as if say obi MP obi asem. Share. The already text message be obi say, why are you saying say the road between the distance between Accra and Beijing is so?
Yeah.
The reason somebody did that is just hypothetical. Of course, there's not a straight line between Yuzu Kwanya.
Yeah.
It's not a straight line from Beijing. But just as an example, the distance as crow flies is like they fly direct between Keta. Say, assuming say you are not going through any caves and other thing, and Paga will be less than 1,000 kilometers or a maximum 1,000 kilometers. So you are saying, say, we have constructed roads, which you can call road, surfaced 10 times between how do you call it? Keta and Paga. That is not there. Have we done asphaltic overlay? Yes, we can see it. Are we working on some flyovers? Yes, we can see. Yes. Have we got contract on many roads, including those in Adaklu? Yes, we had some even before the NPP came in, and we still have we have added some since then. Have they completed? No. So,
but are you then saying, say be a government because they are constructing road of so and so kilometers, then all those roads, no, should be trunk roads and highways?
No.
Don't you consider town roads, asphalt?
Excellent. That is why it is a very, very, very bad way of presentation. Say, Ube to me a lampu all the interventions. I call them interventions on the road and pretend say you have constructed 10,800 kilometers because, as you said, no, urban road is different from highways.
Yes.
Feeder roads are different from highways. In fact, there's a farming area in Adaklu or part of the country that doesn't probably even need to be a third road at this stage. All they need is a motorable road for them to cut the farm produce to a place where they can take them to the market. So you don't necessarily have to tar that road at the same time as trying to tar a road in Accra. You understand? So all you needed to do is to determine, say, oh, okay, we have done some interventions. Out of this intervention, be factual and say, the actual road we have constructed, we have gone to build a 68 or 100 kilometers. We have reconstructed this road. So we have done just like the way they've done asphaltic overlay. And nobody is doubting it. Because even by the close of today, maybe the kilometerage of asphaltic overlay as done would have gone up. Nobody will argue with you about this. This is all we are talking about. So your question as to whether a layman will say that, oh, we have done 10,000 kilometers or that thing, the breakdown is what the issue is. Because every government, routine maintenance, I've seen graders by feeder road, grading roads periodically there. It is normal. And in fact, it's part of the, if it's MTEF, medium term development framework of the ministry, they report every year as to how many kilometers of road are almost to me a grading. And it's normal information. So the only reason we took up issue with this was because of the way the president presented it, as if say, 10,000 kilometers. Because why a regrading 4,900 kilometers? Does that even become an issue the president should be and then be trying to say, teasing us, and we have to control ourselves because we are catching him who say, no matter what the provocation he brings to us yesterday, we would actually prevail on ourselves and let him say whatever he will say and go, and we'll deal with him later. That is what we are doing. Because we reacted to what he said yesterday would have been actually heckling him because what he said was that this and that agenda 111 issues and other thing. But we decided say, "Would the man can ask him non-co?" After that, no, we would demand the details from him. And he said, "We need an explanation to the 10,800 kilometers. They haven't done well because this hasn't given any explanation."
Yeah, but the other thing is, and because Wawa Jatum say you are from a rural constituency, unyi ni say for your constituents, obi yes, a quine daha, but that road is unmotorable. Just say, what the car fast when ye to that person, no, say we be grady quine so manoa. Why you quine no, Anna?
No, you see, we are Yanka say grading. Grading is very critical. Out of the 78,000 kilometers of road, the data no, we are saying say the bulk of it is not a good road.
Good road.
In fact, even in Accra, some suburbs, even when it rains, say now will be at me every ejuma econifia, and easy. So grading that road is necessary. We call it maintenance. It's necessary. We are not saying say enye, but say na uye the owner of the data who present here. Data is only as good as how
it is presented.
It is presented. So the best quality data. But it doesn't make sense to anybody. So it is how you segregate it so that everybody can understand. So President Etimeka say, oh, out of the 10,800 kilometers of roads I'm talking about, what we have actually done in terms of construction is this. Somebody will say Nejuma to bring that down. Yes, but then if that is what he wanted to say, the rendition in the State of the Nation address is too
misleading.
Exactly. That's all we are saying.
It is anka oyi new ni free ho. Yeah. And oka say bia we have constructed.
No, we have worked. We have carried out different interventions. We have carried out various interventions on various roads across the country,
amounting to
10,000. One actual road constructed from scratch. 100 kilometers. Asphaltic overlay.
But those details could not have been put in the statement.
No, we are not asking him to bet. You have already said that let's call it his presentation, that executive summary.
Yeah.
The executive summary is misleading. That we have constructed 10,800 new roads. That is where the problem is. So let everybody understand that Yankase NPP they haven't started because they have already presented documents to us to say they have been working on 11,111 kilometers of road. And a chunk of this is also road project they have inherited, which is yet to be completed. President Kufuor inherited roads every rolling time. He's completed some and added some. President Mills, the same inherited some from President Kufuor, added some. Unfortunately, he passed on. President Mahama took over, did some, and then left some for President Akufo-Addo. So even the Cocoa Road, Uchekia, even till today, some of the project we are calling the 4,800 kilometers or 5,000 under the Cocoa Road, don't be surprised. Some of them were awarded in 2015 and 2016. But that is the true reflection of the stock of road project we are doing. That is what I said. If you add all of them, the cost, Ghana should be finding out where we're going to get almost 40 billion Ghana cedi. Don't forget, 2016 budget appropriation was just about 50 billion. The whole appropriation. Then we are now going to spend, and even now, as we speak, we are awarding more projects. And we are approaching 40 billion. So let this be clear. And the temptation for the president was to say, he done so well, nobody have done so and so. Who the contractors for 9 billion. Who awarded project or you have inherited and added some almost 40 billion. Is that an achievement? And then contractor the ATA and they listen to you a lot. He's not been able to work. In fact, I had a text message from somebody who from an institution that we've been since we started a discussion. They've sent the records around the country, the road agencies. What have you done? And then he went to even a road to check whether they've done. The contractor is not even on the side. Well, the contractor no use a language we cannot use here. That so you haven't paid me. I'm even finding it difficult to even buy credit. You are here asking me to come back to site. We have serious problem on the road sector. This is not the time to take credit for anything because the industry is in crisis.
But the other thing is, being an industry player, you've been around and you know the road sector better than some of us do. Say comparative analysis, because I thought that is what the president sought to do with the statement, And in the process, you use the word unprecedented and also use advisedly. So we share the quantum of worker abide way in the road sector. After the launch of the Year of Roads, initiative now, won't you credit them for the focus and the work they've done in the road sector?
No.
In the last 5 years.
No. Why would I not say, do that? Sika abang spendi actual payment to contractors speak differently. And Maminka Bibicho, President Rawlings. See a friend was saying the interchanger going towards police police headquarters.
Yes.
Right?
Akwaje
and President Kufo.
Yes.
Tete Kwashi. And any President Mahama. Circle. Now OBJB phase 1.
Yes. And
Kaswa. And I loan to her for Pokwasi and other things. Sa say President Kufo had done better than President Rawlings in terms of interchange or routes. Ubetumiaka say President Mills, President Mahama have done better than President Kufo in terms of interchanges and others. It is possible, so Ubetumiaka say, in terms of interchanges and other things, President Akufo-Addo would by the end of his term, if he were to do it, but it is not natural because what was the road network in President Rawlings' time in terms of data? What was the road network in terms of length and President Kufuor's time? What was the road? Because every year, and the road ministry is even hinting that this data of 78,000 would get to 94,000 in few months' time because they have already collected the data. So it is not a scientific way of saying, you have done better. It's just natural, if you inherit more road network, you'll be doing more grading on the road. If you inherit an economy that has gotten bigger and you've got more money, you are expected to do more. It's as simple as that. It doesn't mean, President Rawlings, one year. So if you go comparing the number of interchanges President Mahama built with President Rawlings or President Kufo, you are missing the point because what will be the basis of your comparison? The same way if you start comparing yourself in terms of, in fact, President Rawlings, President Mahama, you see, Nikai, 120 billion. Now, Obidia, almost 360 billion. So, should we be talking about that size of project? So, you should have been doing 3 times that. I don't think that is scientific. So, let's not get into that argument. What we needed to do is to incrementally improve the road, which is all what I've always said, that it doesn't matter which government is in power. Who say the interventions are improving the lives of the people of this country. And he said, President Mahama, OBJB phase 1. Now, President Akufo-Addo, the phase 2. As we are seeing, that is good thing. And in fact, I was there when we moved the motion for the phase 1 under President Mahama. I was there and supported the same way the phase 2 for President Akufo-Addo. I will never take the credit away from President Akufo-Addo for doing phase 2. Because the record will tell me that, no, it was his time that we did that. And that is good. Tamale interchange. How could I say that the building of Tamale interchange is not good? That is not the point we are making. The point I would rather make is that Tamale interchange was just one of the lots out of the 10 Sino-Hydro lots. And as we speak, about 4 of them work haven't even started. Meanwhile, they are supposed to be finishing, some of them already or finishing soon. So if we finish one, I will thank you for finishing one. But I will remind you that it was 10 lots. And in fact, the Tamale interchange is the second smallest of the project. The biggest ones, you haven't done much on it. So let it be clear. And yes, I think this is a big platform. Me, I'm not one of those people. And before, and now I'm not that type of politician because I don't know how somebody will look at me knowing that I know the truth, and then I'm saying something else. So our point is basically that the president probably misspoke, and his advisors should just have come and say, look, this is not what we meant. And if that is what the road ministry is doing by attempting this, he hasn't done further enough. He have said that actually we haven't constructed 10,000. There should have been a line in there. But what they have done is sort to say that, okay, we won't say that, but we'll tell you what we have done. And which is to say that for almost 5,000 kilometers of the 10,000 kilometers we are talking about is grading. That is all we are saying. Okay.
Baba, in terms of comparative analysis amongst and between governments, until the Roads and Highways Ministry started some of the figures of roads under them urban. you in the NDC have touted, say, about roads party at the Mahama administration did unprecedented. Ubia near the Mahama administration You've been saying that, haven't you?
The data, that is why I say, if it's about comparison in terms of what you inherited and what you've done. President Mahama was president for, let's say, 5 years.
Yes.
He completed President Mills's period and other things.
Yes.
And we are talking about the intervention. If NPP says, approval loan be say a bridge at Adoso, across that place. If that bridge we are able to do it, it would have been a major intervention. There's nothing wrong if NPP say this intervention is unprecedented. Nobody will fall because if that's that part of our country, what people go through currently to cross the river, and easy. So there's nothing wrong if they say that. The way Circle was today, it's not like that. Yeah. It's a major issue that have been resolved. Yeah. If somebody says that it's a major intervention, there's nothing wrong with it. All I'm saying is, if you take in terms of kilometers, to say, yes, these kilometers more than others, it will be misleading. This is where what we have found out right now, that the 10,000 something kilometers is almost half of it is what? Is grading. And who in MPP is going to be listening to you and I, Obi, and to be proud of that? When I'm sure when some of them they themselves saw this figure, they realized that say me and I presenting way here. I wouldn't have presented this way in the way the president presented it into parliament. Nobody can say by the end of President Akufo-Addo's term, he wouldn't have probably built interchanges, and probably the number of interchanges probably outnumber the ones that President Mahama built. But the same way, by the time President Mahama was leaving office, we have done more intervention than what President Rawlings did. But that is expected, and we appreciate that. That is all we are talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
Intimini Honorable Kwame Agbojana Edin Komo, or a ranking member on the Transport and Road Committee in Ghana's Parliament. You go so a share name say the colleagues on the other side no so be joining na fe yetimi etie won so the war to counter the point he's made so far. Essentially, the all can say what the president put out in Parliament a misleading, because the devil is in the details. So we should break down the breakdown doesn't support the claim, say 10,875 kilometers of new roads, and according to him, emphasis should be on new roads. So we should break down new roads. In fact, construction of new roads, he tells us a little around 68, 69 kilometers. They are upgrade. But honorable, so we share critical roads. Yes. It is also breakdown contained in the statement now. Omaka's a critical route, mainly Ghana Highways Authority, between June and December 2021. And this is after the present memo covering 2017 and May 2021. Between June and December, at 312.74 kilometers. It is our critical roads, won't there be new roads?
The facts say many of these roads would fall under ABR reconstruction or rehabilitation. Says here, free after the bridge, after the Adomi Bridge, all the way to Esikuma is terribly bad. That road needs
potholes.
Yes, needs reconstruction.
In the end, it's a new road.
It's not a new
reconstruction.
It's a new road. reconstruction. And the Okapchano as reconstruction or so and so on. That is fair. So this figure of 300. And in fact, when the finance minister was presenting the budget, I think it's in 2019 or so. And then they said the critical roads, and then there was no road shown in Volta region. You remember? Then he issued a statement that that's not what he meant. And since then, they have gone to capture the road between Ho and Denu as a part of the critical road. The question is, Ufri Ho, Denu Sisia. Can you see any construction going on there? Nothing. So maybe these critical roads, but that road is not a new road. It's an existing road that needs upgrading. So it is accepted. We like it. We are not against it. But you can't say you have done anything new. You have gone to do reconstruction.
Yeah, but for example, Sawoshe currently, Sawoshe your friend is saying Takwa. Takwa Eba Takrade. It is from Takwa to Apimenim, where the rubber estate factory in Ewono. if government should go in to do that road, and I'll give you an example, even from Takwa through Bogoso, Eba Ayamfore, it was an existing road, but it was terribly bad. And under the Mills administration, almost 30 years, that whole stretch.
We didn't finish.
And I think the NPP came to finish. No. It started under Mills and Mahama completed. Started under Mills and Mahama completed. But when you take that stretch, you cannot convince anybody say Abaina yes fufro. Even though it was a road that was there, but the state it was done.
You see, the president is leading us into a new territory that we shouldn't go. Look, Fufu Susola and those roads that President Mills, President Mahama did.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
But were there new roads constructed?
Were they not?
No, there was a road there, but it was not a road there, because that is why at the ministry there's a maintenance unit and then there's development.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So there's always a description as to what you want to do. In fact, the contract document will describe upgrading or so and so, reconstruction or so and so. And all of them are critical. We are not doubting that. What we are saying, be factual when you are presenting this, so that it doesn't give the impression. Look, say ano, and you came saying that you are coming to justify the president 10,800 kilometers of road. And Utro letter away, plenty English on 2 pages, and the tail end, then he said, roads constructed and maintained. And you yourself are now admitting, say, about half of this was just maintenance work. And it's almost 5,000. Couldn't you have just saved yourself the agony of unnecessary explanation by saying, we have carried out different levels of intervention, and then we have done about 5,000 of grading and other things. We have done critical roads. We have done 312 kilometers and other thing, and leave it there. Where is this temptation to say obi, and to the extent you are coming to say something which doesn't actually add up? That is where the problem is. But why is it that NDC time we didn't attempt this? Because we know that is misleading. So you will not hear an NDC president, under President Mills or President Mahama say we have constructed over 10,000 or 5,000 kilometers of roads, so and so. They will just use the MTF and say, these are the interventions we did, reshaping, grading, upgrading, and other things, and leave it there. Yes, if you see the MTF, it will tell you how much kilometers we have done in terms of grading. In fact, as a matter of fact, the figure the president put out is even misleading. From 2018-2019, if you check the data, we have actually not done well in terms of routine maintenance and other things. And I even gave you one example where the minister actually issued a statement to all regional directors of urban roads. Don't award any new project in terms of any intervention. So how come you are the government who actually at a point in time was lacking in terms of even routine maintenance, yet you are saying you have done more than everybody? Where from this?
But Honorable, we have to interrogate this thing about new roads. Yes. You are an engineer, right?
No, I'm an architect.
Oh, an architect. Okay. Enti yemfa ne say sisi aye kan after omo auditor omo aye no omo me hu say the road network in Ghana ebeko be 94,000 kilometers. Yes. What it means ne say in that 94,000 road network in Ghana no, if as part of the audit no e kwan bi wo adaklu baby omo kwa akotwa the account says, okay, first na enye kwan na ye farm, but see I sign call back the who settlement aba into ababa be e kwan. When government goes to do that road, because a existing road captured in our road network dadano, are we saying enye new road ana?
Good question. You see, that is why I make us say the president is leading us into a territory which we ought not to be going there. And we are very correct say the incremental numbers you're churning out from the ministry, and yet President Akufo-Addo time next starting.
Absolutely.
In terms of the stock of road we have, is basically a factor of collection of data. And that's why I gave you an example. Say, Abia, there's a village in Adaklu, which used to be one-man village, and the person was farming there. But since then, a settlement has developed at the back of it. So currently, the MP of Adaklu have written to Feeder Road say, Ekwan way ye pese ye.
Yes.
The day Feeder Road goes to take stock of that length of road, it gets added to the
our
stock
road
of
network.
Yeah. Whether they work on it or not, it is still added as a stock of the road we have. You may see the feeder road as part of their routine maintenance, send a grader there through a contractor or directly to reshape that road for the meantime. That should not be captured as we have done a new road.
Okay, when feeder road called Eco Reshape is our road, and the central government through the ministry decided, say, okay, that same road now feeder roads are reshaped, on top. They've reshaped. But now we are going to tie it. We are going to do it better. Reshaping view. After ye ko akwako at the bitumen ako guswa and a papa. When that is done, it becomes a new road. No?
Well, you in the industry, say a coin I will say exist here. You can do say upgrading. You see, they have actually done the right thing in terms of classification.
Yes.
In the document that already exists.
Yes.
The problem is what the president said. So if you get the MTEF, the medium-term development framework, it is quite clear. For instance, this medium-term development framework is up to 2025.
Yes.
On page 2 of this document, say they are talking about the condition mix of roads, trunk roads in kilometers. Out of the 78,401 kilometers, trunk roads 14,583. So, say Eba say a road in Adaklu used to be maybe a feeder road, and now the place has been built up, and feeder road specification and sizes are slightly different.
Yes.
Highways is different.
Yes.
So they can say that we are upgrading it at the highways should take it over. So the next time we are doing an intervention on the road, the width of the road should be 7 point something with 1.5 shoulders, another thing. That is a major upgrading of the road. We should not box ourselves into the situation where we say, in the past, it was only being graveled. It was only being re-graveled. And the quota it's a new contract, it's a new road. I'm saying, that will be a misleading thing because there's no need to classify it like that. There's absolutely no... What is the temptation to say we have done something new when there's nothing you have done new?
Because that would then mean, if we are to go by your logic, that would mean, no government would ever construct a new road.
You will. In fact, if you take, for instance, if you are building a bypass around, as we've done around, what do you call it? We've done few bypasses recently. Even a friend was saying, in Sawam, they've done a bypass. Was there a road there that everybody knew about? They did a new bypass. How do you call it? When you go into Kumasi, where they sell, we used to buy the bread, and then they did a new bypass. Nkoko. That's a new bypass. That's a new thing.
And no will be a new road.
That's a new thing.
For example, from Apimenim to Elubo.
Yes.
That ECOWAS stretch.
Exactly.
The road was there.
Yes.
The NDC under Mahama did it.
Yes.
And a new road.
It's not new road. It's not new road. And you see, when you are talking about new road, what exactly, and did the ministry even define what they mean by new road? Because they know it's not necessary. So you realize that they've written a lot of English here, but they did not attempt to say anything about new. All he did was to clarify that we are talking about construction and maintenance. And so I agree with that rendition in the letter. And he went further to say, out of this critical road, we've done 312 kilometers. Out of the 312 kilometers, it could be rehabilitation, it could be upgrading, it could be all sorts of things in there. So the 312 kilometers is not one project. It could be 7, 8, 9 different projects. It could even be that in that, there's 100 kilometers which has been phased into 3 phases because of funding problem. So they finished phase 1, which is, let's say, 20 kilometers. That is how we captured road data in this country all along, and we've never had any problem with it. This temptation to push us into like, we've done this and so, I'm saying that it just creates unnecessary problem for anybody. We should back off. We should back off and continue to do what we've all been doing in the medium-term development framework all the time. Feeder road, reshaping, what have you done? We have done 10 kilometers. Okay. So then you can add those things, and like they've done. If they were to say, oh, we've done this, and then what we didn't mean all of these are new, because if you are doing reshaping, Obi, is that a new intervention? Out of the 10,800 they are talking about, their own document is saying, almost 5,000 is reshaping. It's reshaping a new thing you are doing. It means the road exists. You are doing an intervention to make it more trouble. We know that is good. And that people will not get reshaping and say, "Fako yempe." Aden yepe. There are communities in this town, Accra, suburbs, who wouldn't mind having a reshaping. Yeah. So we are not against, or we are not saying, reshaping is not good. We are saying, forcing the country to have a different rendition of presenting road data is dangerous.
It's dangerous.
And it's not even necessary.
Okay. Into your challenge again will be, after all this breakdown, the president should not have taken the final figure of 10,000 and classify all of them as new routes.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay. I'll be the last person to say, I'm not aware, the government beer ACSA coin. I'll be the last person. Why would I do that? President Mahama started some projects in Adaklu. President Akufo-Addo is doing some roadworks in Adaklu. Why would I say that he's not doing any roadwork? That is not the point we are making.
Would you dispute if somebody should say, in terms of
Ekosiisen On Asempa
the road sector, the minister under him, why more interventions on roads in terms of the kilometrage and the breakdown we are seeing, it will have to go to Amoakwanta. Would you agree?
No, I would say, for instance, Cocoa Roads. President Mahama awarded project to the tune of 5 billion Ghana cedi. And NPP took issues with it and said the syndicated loan cannot support Cocoa board to pay for those roads. And because President Mahama was setting aside $150 million anytime we are here syndicated loan, almost say that money is not enough. They set up a committee, and the Minister of Agric appeared in Parliament and said openly that even the company that was selected to do the audit was done outside of the Procurement Act, because according to him, Public Procurement Authority did not have a board at the time he ordered for that. So that's another discussion on another day, whether there's a law that allows you to handpick somebody and give a contract. But since then, though they haven't been able to find any fault with the 5 billion worth of Cocoa Roads, today they have awarded project worth 15 billion. Obi, will you say, because they've awarded 15 billion cedis of project, they have done better than President Mahama? Just because they have awarded. As we speak, Cocoa Board is struggling. Even money to do proper intervention for cocoa farmers is an issue. Just by awarding more projects, should that be classified as I've done more? If that is what we want, imagine what the next government will do. All you do is what? Go and be awarding. Because that is what led us to having a situation where we owe contractors 9 billion Ghana cedis now.
But are you saying, sir, in the case of this administration, the 15 billion worth of Cocoa Road project from our award, none of them is being worked on?
Oh no,
contractors
that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying, sir, if it's just about even NDC time they were working on it. Myself and when my former chairman Honorable Yepe, we were in charge of the committee. I was his ranking. We went to Western Region to inspect Cocoa Roads. We saw Cocoa Road project that were 100% complete. Cocoa Board instructed the contractors, don't hand over because we are auditing you. It was not even captured as completed project because Cocoa Board is saying that we are auditing you. So we had projects that were 100% complete. Today we have projects that were 15%, 10%, 20%, and you want us to say that because you have awarded more projects, we should tell you that you have done well. When the guy who have actually done the work is in the house, sick, and cannot even go to the hospital because you owe him money. And Obi, let me say this. There's a catastrophe happening in the road sector. Let's not see what is happening.
In the road sector?
Yes, let me tell you. Cast your mind back 2 years ago. What was the price of cement? What is the price of iron rod? What is the price of fuel? Road projects consume heavy fuel, iron rod, and cement. Some contractors have gotten project as of the time ammonia project. No, cement was, let's say, 30 cities.
Yeah,
and then
57
in northern part of the country is across 60 cities. The same contract. a drum of diesel that they need for their graded doses and other things was be a 900 Ghana cedi, 1,100 Ghana cedi, and then more than 2,000 Ghana cedi. You have doubled the amount of money the guy need to do the work. In the contract, people say it's a project, you can do variation up to 10%. But if some of the contractors tell you what they are going through, their additional cost is over 30%, 40%. It requires the client, GOG, to go back and review those contracts automatically. And yes, sir, you know what you get? Shoddy job. Because obi entimin fa nisika ekoto diesel 2,300 per drum and go and do work to be paid 1,000 Ghana cedi. Onye kwasia. Because the petrol seller, you will not use Ghana card to buy the petrol. So automatically, government should know that there's something happening in the road sector that needed to be addressed at a policy level.
Yeah, but say contra, that's why there are variations in.
That is what I'm telling you, that the variation in most cases is up to 10% of the contract.
Okay.
Once it crosses that, it becomes a major change of the days. And if you consider the price of cement, iron rod, diesel of a fuel alone, it will tip off many of the contract beyond the 10% variation. So the client themselves need to be proactive and make an intervention. Either you review the scope down and say, look, currently, your project is 100 kilometers. Let's face it. So you do maybe 50 kilometers. So I can adjust your price upward so that you can meet your cost. If you leave it and pretend that contractors are so patriotic, how patriotic can you be if something sells at 2,300 cedis and what you get paid for it is 1,100 cedis? What kind of patriotism are you going to use to do it?
Into bottom line, say you shoddy.
Exactly. If that is if you do it.
If we insist for them to do it.
Exactly. If you insist, that's what will happen. But Ghanaian contractors are not bad people. And I've always said, Ghana is not lacking technical ability in terms of construction and supervision. Ghanaians can do all these things. And we have proven that we can do it. My battle with the road minister on motor angels on the motorway is all about this. That if we are going to borrow money, $570 million to build motorway construction will be cement and iron rod.
Yeah.
The top 10 contractors in this country can do this without, and in fact, we are ready to give the contractor $67 million mobilization.
Oh, mobilization.
Before even tax waiver. Obi, catch me say, I know you know big contractors, you are a big man. Tell me, say, almost $67 million advance, no tax on your project. They can't do motorway. They can easily do it. In any case, say, this Abrofo Omuba, even if we do the commercial agreement in Parliament and you see this big company, at the end of the day, what do you see? They sublet it to Ghanaian contractors to do anyway.
Yeah.
Is it the case that we don't trust the engineers at the road ministry, the agencies, feeder road and other thing? Didn't they go to the same schools abroad and everything? Is it the case that the contractors here don't have the capability? What they need is capital. So if you brought motor angels because you said you should go and bring money, and they didn't bring $1, and you are keeping motor angels, and now they've brought a bill to Parliament to try and force something and create a fund and force Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund to buy a share into it so that they will go and take a loan from that place. Now they say $600 million in the name of motor angels. We shall not, our side will never support motor angels, a foreign company who will breach Article 181, 7 of the 5 of the Constitution. We are saying, if we have got the money, then let Ghanaian contractors do the work because they have the capability and they will be part of the people who will be paying.
But as government showed, say they have that money.
Government?
Yes.
The government said they don't have it. So what they are coming to do is to go and borrow the money and give it to the foreign contractor. Obi, you should be angry. Go and borrow the money and give it to motor angels. Because of that, motor angels are set up office in this country waiting for that to happen. Then they go and then they'll tell you, say they'll do 40%, local content. Say Ghanaian contractors about to me 40% local content. Why can't they do 100%?
Why can't they do 100%?
It's all about, but each of the issue, it's as if you hate somebody. Obi, the top 10 Ghanaian road contractors can do motorway if you give them the money. Give them tax waivers. Obi, we say we don't have money. Go and see the amount of tax waivers we've been granting to developers in this country. On one occasion, Obi, rural electrification. Me say, stone quarry machine was part of rural electrification during a tax waiver. I'm not talking of, I'm talking about a machine to do stone quarry. How did that happen? because people basically just load items into the tax waiver and get more money taken out of.
But that's why you should expedite the tax exemptions bill.
I agree with you 100%. If I have my way, two things we'll do with speed. Bring a law to make sure that we have a way of licensing value for money auditing firms in this country.
Yes.
Instead of the finance minister handpicking a firm all the time, and they'll tell you we got a firm from Ghana Institute of Surveyors. That is wrong. Which law tells you that you can go to Ghana Institute of Architects to give you
and give you a firm?
Give you a firm. You need to use the Procurement Act, but because we don't have a list of value for money auditing firms, and secondly is the one you are talking about, and we need to have a law that determines if you are a foreign developer, you come here. Should we say, pay your tax, we'll give you a refund.
We'll give you a refund.
Sir, we can even say within 30 days we'll give you back your money, because after all you paid us.
But that bill is in Parliament, no?
It's in Parliament. There were days that we have actually sat in Parliament when the roof. Unim said there was a day when we wanted to change the law and remove what do you call it? How do you call it? Assembly members?
Yeah.
Even ensure I put the roof off. Speaker Michael Kwe sat in the chair to make sure we pass that law. That means it was what? It was an emergency thing for government. If government wants us to do the tax waiver thing as an agency, as they attempted bringing my very good friend, the chief financing minister, as they claimed, in an ambulance because of a vote on E-levy, if government actually sees the tax waiver law as an urgent thing, they can pass it tomorrow.
Because it will do a lot of things.
A lot. Obi, billions of dollars, the tax waivers we are granting. Even 1D, 1F alone. In fact, currently, every company in Ghana is more or less a 1D, 1F. All you need to do is to say, I'm coming under 1D, 1F. I've seen warehouses in Tema, which have been there all the time since I was a kid. Renovated recently, and then it's this one in front of it, 1D, 1F.
Now, say about agreements now, about Parliament or more pay tax waivers. No, it drew where we don't hear voices of dissent in the House.
Are you sure?
You don't talk about them.
Actually, I have actually voted against a tax waiver under the NDC before. I think Daily Guide or something report, because as a principle, I mean, say it is not fair to do that in favor of only foreign companies.
Yeah, but that's one out of.
I agree with you, but it shouldn't be about me. It should be about all of us, that we know we are losing money. In fact, we are talking about the strength of the city. Imagine if somebody tells you we've granted, say, more than $1 billion as tax waivers.
Yes.
Assuming that money was here, the guy contractor no actually Sasika, that money is within our bosom, and we only give him back the money at a particular time. Don't you think, say, it will give some strength to our currency?
No, the nomination is and Ghanaians have praised the minority for the opposition you've given the E-levy, for example. I was looking at, say, why don't we have that strength in unison and say, okay, enough is enough for these, because their tax exemption will come to Parliament in the form of an agreement presented by the executive. It is a moment Soreka said, no, Charlie, this thing is becoming too much. We can't. We don't see that thing. That's the point I'm making.
I agree with you. And for you to say, and you are a big voice in the country, say, you are requesting, demanding. It's not only when NDC is in opposition.
Oh, I get
you are demanding, say,
absolutely.
The opposition should government won't voluntarily do that.
Absolutely.
Opposition should be more determining in terms of, look, this is what the country wants. Let's do this. I agree with you. I will take that on board and say, we need to do more of this.
Because your position on E-levy, you argue, say, reflective of what the Ghanaian people think.
Yes.
And I know, say, a lot of Ghanaians are against this exemptions, especially the foreign companies.
Yes.
It's too much.
Oh, Obi.
It's too much.
When they come, Minia, even in the tax waiver, ensure nipa ni be jina enum kra we are giving tax waivers on it. The sand they are buying here, sand, we are giving tax waivers. Ebuo, the stone we are buying from here, we are giving tax waivers. Why?
And
corporate tax, everything free. Meanwhile, almost employ Ghanaian staffer, they will take tax from you. Almost ability that contract to the Ghanaian company. The Ghanaian company will pay tax.
Tax.
Yes.
I mean,
so what kind of taxation or fairness in terms of taxation? Obi, there's a lot we can do together as a country, whether government or opposition. And we are all saying, say, as long as we have all agreed, say, the democracy have come to stay. Say a year election we once they have declared somebody as a winner, you go to court. They say, "Oh dear, you can stay at home and shout and say anything," and then judiciary must be ready. Say they are also not right.
Of course,
the decisions they make, if they review their own decisions, and that's not the case, it means that they can make mistakes. They should also have the stomach to take that thing. So if we all understand, say that is the position, there will be peace in Ghana. There can be wars everywhere around us, but we have this understanding. We can be an oasis of peace in the middle of chaos.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Honorable, we should be wrapping up. Few messages now for you are responding now. In the interview. The bottom line is that the Akufo-Addo-led government has constructed more roads than any fourth Republican government within 5 years. We have performed better and we will continue to do our best for the citizenry. Samuel Brian Boabein in Awoshi. We say, Obi, good evening. Then from what the NP is saying, he expects the government to say it's done a new road when the government even just grades someone's farming path for him. Because if upgrading of a feeder road cannot be termed as a new road, then he is rather misleading. Dr. Randall here in Accra, you get his drift? In the person challenge, I can say new roads here, a choir and exist here, wakwaya. Then say me who say abaybi ko grade obi afuom kramana. A foam near okay, way a fool, you see a dear coin in the Magrady a phone in Finfi, then it becomes a new road, and that government can report that as having constructed a new road. Obi, good evening. Kindly ask the MP, how does he classify the dual carriage from Insawim to Apija? Okay. We say, Obi, do you know that Honorable Kwame was the UK and Ireland chairman of the NDC? Were you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Also, he was one of the best chairmen the NDC has produced. No wonder he's doing extremely well as an MP. I wish him well, and may Allah protect him. Tell him to get in touch. Unfortunately, your preamble, Nankasano say, he wasn't. Is any of your colleagues? I
was the vice chairman of NDC.
NDC in the UK, Ireland. Vice chairman, and not a chairman. Okay, I think maybe
that's the time. Honorable Segbefia was the.
Alex Segbefia, not a chairman, and now we're vice.
Horace Ankra.
Oh, okay. We said. And how do they expect the country to pay for the roads? Okay, until L they are or no they are praying and no. Obi, good evening. If you would recall, there was a letter dated 7th May 2021 that directed all regional directors of urban and feeder roads not to award contract for new roads so that the ministry would use the period to pay contractors. My own research from urban roads, both at the regional and national headquarters, indicate that the directive was fully complied with. Hence, no road maintenance or routine maintenance work has been awarded since 2021. So the question is, how was that miraculous 5,110 kilometers of grading improvement claimed by the Ministry of Roads, which is usually done by feeder and urban roads, awarded and executed? We cannot just allow state institutions to lie and deceive the taxpayers. The second question is, what was the budgetary allocation for the 5,110 kilometers of road? Which contractors executed those road contracts? Which procurement processes did they go through? Remember, all feeder roads and urban roads maintenance works are advertised in the daily newspapers before contracts are awarded. Can anyone prove me wrong by showing me any of such contract document? Richard Kirk Mensa,
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM.
Obi, I think Honorable Govins Agboja is a bit of fresh air to Ghana politics. He stands for the right thing to be done and speaks with passion. We pray for more politicians like him. Goldland Madugu in Michelle Camp and Odiwe Abrain. Honorable, you can respond to these.
Okay. Yes, my good friend Sami Boabein. Sami, we are sure that wafa 10,800 that share president state. Would they get in touch? The grading and upgrading we're talking about. It's quite a simple thing. Okay. If you go to do reshaping of a road, It is not a construction.
Okay.
It is a maintenance, program.
Work, okay.
And this is an age-old understanding at the ministry.
Okay.
No president or minister can change the rendition as to how the engineers classify this. Okay. And that all I'm calling for is that we should not force the professionals in the industry to begin to do a different classification for us for political reasons. Because what they do is, a best practice that you can find anywhere else. Okay. And that is all I'm calling for. I'm not saying, say, it's not good. I've said it already that there are places in Adaklu today. Say, you're grading Kwana Muye Kra, Mipe. I'm okay with that. Okay. That is not what I'm arguing about. Okay. I think we've made enough progress in terms of explanation of what we are doing. I wouldn't say the Minister of Road hasn't done anything. I'm happy with enough. I said, how do you call it? The Tamale interchange. I'm happy. I just reminded them that there are 10 more of those projects in Lot 1 alone. Yeah. In fact, because of that, we haven't even started phase 2 of the Sino Hydro. Because if phase 1, you have already completed only one. If you roll out phase 2, what are you going to do? So
was Dodowa in phase 1?
Yes.
Dodowa was in phase 1.
Yes, phase 1. Okay. And they're working on some of them, but the speed. And like I said, the reason it's not going on is not because of COVID necessarily. The drawdown is slow because the Chinese can see that financially we are not in a position, and we are not also mining the bauxite and processing it because we say we'll pay them from the proceeds of bauxite. So the guy can see that you already have financial problem, and you are not doing anything to unlock the money you said you were going to pay. What do you think? They will be dragging their feet. If we were to be doing that, maybe they would have completed it. So I said that I don't agree with government putting so much emphasis on loading too much of our roads onto Sino Hydro because it's not necessarily that is why I call for the decapping of road fund completely. Let them have their 2.2 billion, and the minority side have even suggested we would have supported the increment of road tolls because since the increment was done by President Mills, we haven't done anything. Today, when you were hypothetically, if you were driving a V8 and you go through Tamamoto and they charge you 5 cedis, you think Ghanaians are going to cry for you? No. If you can afford a V8, you can. But guess what? How much do we pay? 1 cedi.
1 cedi.
Now, so we're getting almost 80 million. If that is 5 times, we can gross at least $200-300 million from road tolls alone into the road fund. $300 million a year. See what I can do on our roads.
But E-levy is getting you more than that, and you are against it.
No, E-levy is
the portion that will go into the road fund.
What portion did they tell you was going to the road fund?
According to the roads minister, they are expecting some.
In fact, the
2 billion.
No, they haven't even specified what. That is another trick. You see, the finance minister wants a pool of money that he can spend with discretion. We are paying money already for youth employment and other things. We are paying money for sanitation. We are paying money for education. So what is he talking about that when we do this before we have money? Get Fund gets money through you and I. Today, when I buy fuel, I'm paying Get Fund because we've collateralized it under Dachi. So now when we pay Get Fund, it goes to service the Dachi loan instead of going to build schools elsewhere. So we are not saying government shouldn't find any other revenue handles. But I'm saying, for instance, if unfortunately somebody passes on in my constituency and they take the person to mortuary, if E-levy is in session, they take the person to mortuary and they don't have money to pay a deposit, and I volunteer to help. Once I'm transferring that money from my phone to that person, you are charging me E-levy on that. But is that an income to the person or anybody? It just doesn't make sense. If I want to help somebody pay school fees and I send the money to a Nippon phone, and the person attempts to remove the money before he goes to pay school fees, you are charging me E-levy on that. How can that be something good? So I'm protecting myself because MPs would also be victims. If E-levy comes, you will be a victim because when you're MP, by meaning say the number of people who call you say, if I will grow are bigger than MP. So E-levy is a principle with them. We are not saying the telcos shouldn't contribute. They already contribute some money. But this will of forcefully taking money from my pocket.
That's what you are against.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Good evening, bro. Please, the NDC MP in your studio has forgotten that it was under the watch of the Mahama administration that the NDC government and under an NDC government that a Burkinabe contractor was given a contract to construct the famous Dodipepesu Road that lasted for less than a year. The NDC government entrenched the use of foreign contractors. You get his drift?
Yes, nobody is against the use of foreign contractors or foreign people. We are a global world. We are not. The reason I said motor angels is not qualified, I said it. That Article 181.
Yeah.
When you have a foreign entity entering into a commercial agreement with government, you need to come to Parliament, which they haven't come to Parliament as we speak. And the basis on which motor angels entered Ghana to do the motorway was that it was going to be what? A PPP, where they will bring money. Okay. At the end of the day, the minister cancelled the PPP program because motor angels couldn't even raise $1. So why are you keeping them? I'm saying cancel the whole thing, open a new bid, allow Ghanaian contractors also to participate. If they can team up and whatever, because you said you have the money, so they don't have to raise the money. So if that is the case, motor angels does not qualify to be part of people who will even bid for that job. Yes.
Okay. I get your point. Honorable, it's a pleasure talking to you. But we say, good evening, Obi. Please ask the MP, was the NDC giving construction of important routes? Okay, it's the same question to Ghanaian contractors. Alex Tufo in Hamburg, Germany. Alex, I think that question has been responded to. Honorable, my nase enyumre, ye besa yeso di nkomo bio. Why?
Obi, me jipa say me who me champion Obi. Make sure say I'll be in touch. This is a very wonderful platform.
You have to.
Meaning say
you have to.
Nipa Beverage 80. Meaning say it's to me a jojo on issues in this country as we have done. Answer na ebe free aha eko baby no. We would have left the country better than we found it, and our children will do better than us.
Absolutely. Thank you. We are grateful.
Thank you very
Honorable Kwame Agboja Daklo MP and Amoten and Ekosiisen suni higher Asempa FM. But often me pamuchao Consolidated Bank Ghana SANA so pursue taxes, customs duties, and all other GRA payments. It's now been made very, very easy at any CBG branch nationwide. In fact, ubetimi at dial *222# *222# to pay your custom duties, GRA taxes, EPA levies, GSA, Ghana Standards Authority levies, Food and Drugs Authority levies,